started at home, and then actually winning up one game on the road. And like I said, I've never really seen it done before. I mean, I know we've been swept a couple times in the playoffs ourselves, so it was pretty neat. I mean, it was special, and it always is, but it'll be something that I remember for a long time.
You had the guy who for a year and a half was the top player in this league in Jeremy Barfield, and he's kind of a loosey-goosey character, but he's really a special player.
Jeremy Barfield probably deserves to play in the big leagues. I mean, he's still young enough. He just does everything well. I don't know why that he hasn't been given more of a shot. I mean, he hits for good average. He plays a great outfield, good power. I mean, he doesn't really strike out a lot, runs the bases well. He can pitch. I mean, he can do a lot of stuff. I mean, he was deservedly the MVP of our team and also the league last year. And I'm just glad he got signed this year. He was off to another really good season here. He got signed, and he's doing really well over there for the Red Sox in their on their Double A team.
You guys started off this year like you were on the road to repeating. You ran into a schedule that would have killed a herd of elephants, let alone a baseball team, in the month of May. How much effect did that have?
Well, I think the biggest thing really is I lost some key players early. Chris Nelson was just getting his feet underneath him, and he was getting hot playing third base. He took a coaching job. And then I ended up losing my best relief pitcher and Jeremy Barfield the same day. And then Andy Wilkins a couple days later. I mean, these guys were leading the league in home runs, and we had really kind of gelled as a team coming together. And like I said, we hit that really hard stretch where we had 14-game road trip and then another 12, and then a couple guys got hurt. So, I mean, it's just been really hard to, repeat. It's always hard to repeat, but started out with what I think was the best team in the league, and then, barring injuries and then losing players, key players, it's been a struggle so far, since then.
You have a fairly deep roster, it seems like, but you don't have the Barfields and Wilkins in the middle that really are those guys that you're going to build a club around.
Well, I've had to mix and match. I mean, I have been scrambling because, I've been trying to manage injuries, and I've been picking up guys on the road. It's different when you're at home, but, it's like on the road I've had to make these moves and get guys, and my roster changes, consistently or all the time. It's just, and even though I may be deep right now, I know I'm going to lose a couple guys. One guy's for sure going to go back to college, and then, I've still got a couple guys hurt. So, there's some moves coming up. You just try to, anticipate and look ahead. And like I said, if we get to that place where we're out of it, I'm probably going to lose a few other guys by choice when it comes down to, saving money and stuff like that. But, it's not over yet, but it's struggling. I'm not near as deep, and like I said, it's getting to that tiring part of the season where it's going to be hard.
You look across to the opposing dugout. Russ Peoples, a guy you've known for years now, and takes over as a first-year manager. And we all feel here he's done a fantastic job. But what's the take from the other dugout?
Well, I think Ross has done an outstanding job of recruiting players and just managing the game and managing his people and maintaining. You guys have lost plenty of players too, so it's like he's done a great job of recruiting and filling spots. And like I said, I like the style of play that he does. I think he's done really well. I think he learned probably a lot from Butch, and he's been a student of the game. He's not just out there pitching when he wasn't coaching. He's watching and understanding what was going on in the game. He stepped right into it, and he's done a great job.
I have one final question, because this is something that's bugging me. I brought it up last night. But that photo of Anthony Giansani that is on the video board, I swear he could be your kid. I swear he looks more like you than Joe does.
What's funny about that is, in a way, he is. I'm hosting him as a player. I had a little problem with my host family, so he calls me Dad at home, and he calls me Gary or Coach here at the ballpark. So he's been just a treat, just a joy to manage, and I'm just really glad I got him. And it's just he kind of fell in my lap, but he's got that Italian thing, Plus he's a great player, and I love him.
Well, Gary, thanks for taking time out tonight. Good luck to your ball club after this weekend. We need all the wins we can get, unless we win that thing on the 14th. So, again, good luck to your ball club, and hope everything goes well for you.
All right, Dave. Thank you very much.
Gary Gaetti joining me tonight on the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. I'll have the starting lineups for Game 2 of this 4-game series in just a moment here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Another great dugout report. Adam Gockenauer from Gockenauer Appliances back with you again to remind you to please stop by our showroom in East Petersburg to see all the best appliance brands on the market today. Brands like GE, Maytag, Whirlpool, Speed Queen, and Fisher & Paykel. We not only can save you money on your purchase, but provide you with our own service, delivery, and installation. Join our family and let us show you how fun appliance shopping can be. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg.
Hey Barnstormers fan, be in the know as soon as it happens. We have a number of social media options for you to stay in touch with everything Stormers. Know what Silo's up to, the latest player moves, game results, schedule changes, and be the first to get in on surprise flash deals. Or simply buy our tickets or ask us questions. So like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, watch us on YouTube, and be a part of the growing Barnstormers family on social media.
Welcome back from Clipper Magazine Stadium. Here are the starting lineups for the second game of this four-game series on this bright, warm Friday evening. Fireworks following the game, so if you're in the neighborhood, stop on by. Joe Benson will be leading off. He is in left field for Sugarland. Cole Gillespie batting second in center field. Anthony Giansani, the part of our conversation with Gary Gaetti tonight, is the shortstop batting third. Kevin Ahrens moves across to first base. He will bat cleanup. The catcher tonight will be Wilfredo Rodriguez. Albert Cordero will stay in the lineup batting sixth, playing third. Hector Oliveira is in right field batting seventh. Derek Miller, the designated hitter, batting eighth. And Josh Prince is the second baseman batting number 9. Brett Marshall will be on the hill. 6-6 for Marshall on the year and a 4.15 ERA. For the Barnstormers, Bo Amaral will be leading off playing center. Trayvon Robinson, again the DH tonight, batting number 2. Cole Garner is in right field hitting third. The cleanup batter is the third baseman Sean Halton. Steve Clevenger is the first baseman. He will bat fifth. Garrett Weber with a start at shortstop. He is batting sixth. The last time he started as shortstop, we had an incident, and he moved right back to second base. And Nate Coronado, who was scheduled to have that night off, ultimately didn't. And Coronado will sit out here this evening. The left fielder batting seventh is Lastings Millage. Tyler Clark will hit eighth. He will be doing the catching tonight. And who's starting at second base? Josh Bell will make the start there. And he will bat number 9 in the order for the Lancaster Barnstormers. And those are two things you can't fathom. Bell playing second base, although he was forced into that duty a few times last year. And also Bell batting 9th in the order. The reigning Atlantic League RBI champion, but obviously playing on only a sporadic basis here in 2017. Left-hander Tommy Shirley on the hill tonight for the Barnstormers. Shirley's given up only 2 runs in 11 innings over his last 2 starts. A complete game loss, 2-1 to the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs on Saturday. 0-3 coming in with a 6.65 ERA, and Sugarland is going to face a totally different pitcher than they faced for 2 2/3 innings and getting to him at Constellation Field about 2.5 weeks ago. Shirley and Marshall are the opposing starting pitchers here this evening, game 2 of this 4-game series. Before we go to a break, we would like to pass along our well wishes to Atlantic League Executive Director Joe Klein. Had very major surgery today and hopefully is in recovery right now. And Joe, we want to see you back at the ballparks as soon as you can get better and get back on your feet. Joe Klein has been the glue that's held this league together for its first 20 seasons, and we want several more out of Joe. But I've been told he fell ill during the All-Star break, and finally they got him in for the surgery in Philadelphia today. So our best prayers and our thoughts go out to League Executive Director Joe Klein upon his recovery. So that'll do it for the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report this evening. We'll be back with play-by-play baseball. James Murray joining me tonight here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Hey, Jane, check it out. 2 brand new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery.
Yeah, you just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
And with Payday, you could win progressive top prizes instantly.
Instantly? That's fast.
Not faster than me drinking this frozen slush.
You okay?
Ouch. Headache.
Oh.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
You're never too young to appreciate a great deal.
The Barnyard Bunch is back and better than ever. Members get field box tickets for 6 home games presented by Penn State Hershey, plus 6 free passes to B.R. Kreider Kids Park, 2 free Isaac's Kids Meals, 2 tickets to the Chocolate World 4D Experience, 2 passes to Hands-On House, an exclusive Barnyard Bunch t-shirt, and plenty more in a summer of fun at Clipper Magazine Stadium. All for just $25. Sign up at the stadium or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com/barnyardbunch, and we'll see you at the ballpark.
Along with James Murray, Dave Collins with you. There is an extended meeting at home plate this evening with the 2 managers and the umpiring crew of Nate Caldwell, Derek Moshe, and Brian DeBrouwer. There was an issue that came up in the 9th inning last night. We saw Ross Peoples come out, get stopped at the foul line, and he had to go back to the dugout. And we didn't quite grasp at the time what that was about. It was an interpretation of the pace of play rules here in the Atlantic League. Earlier that inning, Anderson De La Rosa, even though he didn't go all the way out to the mound, was charged with a timeout. And Ross was told that if he crossed the foul line, he would have to change pitchers. And, of course, at the time we had our closer Anthony Carter in the game, nobody else warming up in the bullpen, so Ross did not want to have that. But the question is, does the short conversation, and it was short, between Anderson De La Rosa and Anthony Carter constitute a mound visit? And the answer to that is no. It constitutes a timeout, but not a mound visit. Ross should have still been allowed to come out and make that visit in the 9th inning. As it turned out, Carter got out of the inning. He saved his 22nd in a row and his 23rd of the season, so the visit ultimately wasn't necessary. But that is the point of conversation at home plate tonight, and that's why the meeting at the plate is going on longer than it ordinarily would be for the second game of the series. The first game of the series is the long one. They go over all the ground rules, and the next 3 nights it's usually a handshake, the exchange of the lineups, and a mere baseball protocol formality, if you will. But tonight the meeting has been extended. It has broken up. We've got a very warm night here at Clipper Magazine Stadium with the wind blowing out. There is the potential, if the pitchers are not sharp here tonight, for a very high-scoring game. This is a night where the ball should travel very, very well. The Barnstormers picking up the victory last night by a final score of 4-3. Back-to-back home runs from Sean Halton and Steve Clevenger in the bottom half of the 6th inning, turning the trick for the Barnstormers. And looking up the information after the game last night, Sean Halton has become the 4th Barnstormer in history to have 20 or more home runs in 2 different seasons, joining Casey Hobson, Ryan Harvey, and Reggie Taylor in that category. And I posed that question to our fans on Facebook earlier today, and I had the names of Tommy Everidge brought up. He did it once. Cole Garner has done it once. Love to see him do it again, but that would take a heck of a stretch run for Cole. There are some of the other names brought. Aaron Herr did it once. Jeremy Todd had the opportunity to have 220 home run seasons in the Atlantic League, but the second one, or the first one actually, he hit 19 as a Barnstormer and 7 as a Newark Bear. Lance Zawadski's name was brought up. He did it once. So there are 4 that have done it twice, and Sean Halton and Casey Hobson have both done it each of the last 2 years. 45 home runs for KC in really a little over a year as a Barnstormer, about a year and a month. And Halton now coming here May 16th of last year. Last night, his 42nd Lancaster Barnstormers home run. Tommy Shirley, 6'5" left-hander from the Pittsburgh area, taking the hill tonight for the Lancaster Barnstormers. We'll send you down to the field now for our opening ceremonies.
Veterans are invited to salute the flag as we honor the United States of America with our national anthem, performed this evening by Melissa Almond. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes
Nice job on the national anthem this evening. The Lancaster Barnstormers taking on the Sugarland Skeeters. Second game of a 4-game series. Barnstormers are about as hot as they've been all year. They had the 18-7 run back from late April to most of the month of May, and now the Barnstormers 15 out of 20 since the All-Star break, playing as well as you can play. And of course they have done a lot of this with what is still a thin roster, as Lastings Millage and Trayvon Robinson alternating outfield and DH duties. Neither one really is able to go out and play the outfield every night. You'd like to give those guys a couple of days off. That's hard because Sean Halton is, at the time being, forced pretty much to play the infield just about every day. Barnstormers still have hitting coach Josh Bell active, and tonight making the start at second base. So the ranks continue to be thin. The Barnstormers really could use more than anything else a guy to be able to fill in on a semi-regular basis at second base and shortstop, but they haven't been able to find that player, at least not as of yet. One guy pitched to us today but doesn't have any shortstop experience, and I really think that ultimately the Barnstormers need somebody to be able to fill in at short, who's an experienced shortstop. Garrett Weber has played there, but not all that often. He gets the start there here tonight. You have Coronado, still a youngster, and you'll see some youthful mistakes out of him as well as he has played for the Barnstormers. You'd just like to get that solid Kyle Haynes type of player. That name comes to mind because we talked about Kyle so often lately as the manager of the Richmond Flying Squirrels, who is now in charge of 4 of our former players. But that's the kind of player I think that the Barnstormers really need to be able to play one game at second, one game at short, and the third day off, and be able to spell some of the guys, and you can shuffle some of the other pieces around if you're manager Ross Peoples. Here is Joe Benson leading off tonight against the left-hander Tommy Shirley. Tommy into his motion. First pitch of the night locates the outside corner, 0-1. Now, when Shirley faced Sugarland the last time, he had that very long wind-up with his hands thrown back over his head. He's gotten rid of that, simplified his mechanics, quick to the plate now. 0-1 is lifted down the left side, and that will be chased down by Lastings Millage out in left. He is there. Second pitch, 1 out, and Cole Gillespie, the center fielder, will come to the plate. Gillespie batting .301 with 3 home runs, 15 runs batted in. A very well-traveled former major leaguer is Cole Gillespie. He's been a very nice addition to this Sugarland ball club, but Gary Gaetti really, you want to talk about moving pieces around. Gaetti does it as well as anyone. You won't see the same guy catch back-to-back games very often, but he has Cordero moved out to third base tonight. He is playing without Travis Scott and Brian Pounds, 2 of his big weapons, outside to Gillespie. Ball 1 and no strikes.
The versatility for Gary Gaetti is wonderful between Giansani, Aarons, all of his catchers. He can play Scott there when he wants to.
Josh Prince, another guy you can move anywhere. Inside, and the count to Gillespie, 2-0.
Something the Barnstormers had early on.
And they still have it in Garrett Weber.
In Weber, yes.
And Sean Halton. But they're almost locked in right now. Smash, that's fair. Past the diving Halton down the third base line into the corner. Lastings Millage will dig it out of the bullpen and hold Gillespie to a 1-out double here in the first inning. 6th double for Gillespie. Runner in scoring position for Sugarland with 1 out, and Anthony Giansani will step to the plate. Giansani hitting .284 with 4 home runs and 35 runs batted in. And yep, I'm looking straight at the video board. You can't tell me that's not a young Gary Gaetti out there. I think they switched photos. I've joked about it all year. In person, he doesn't really look like that.
No.
Runner at second base, 1 out. He's obviously Italian, but that's about as far as it goes. Breaking ball is inside. Ball 1, no strikes on Giansani. Kevin Aarons, the first baseman who had the big night for Sugarland here last night, waits on deck. Sky's getting somewhat hazy out to the west. It's not a full bank of clouds, but there is a distinct haze out there. Swing and a miss. Shirley with an off-speed pitch, and the count to Giansani is 1-1.
And the wind's picked up again. It died a little bit during the national anthem, and now it's picked up right where it started.
Thunderstorms expected overnight.
How do you feel about Shirley's new delivery and everything? It looks a little more clean. It's much more simplified.
It works for him. Breaking ball is chopped foul. He gets out of Giansani 1-2. His last 2 starts, 11 innings, just 2 runs. He gave up 2 homers to Michael Snyder at Southern Maryland back on Saturday in Game 2, and that cost him the game. The Barnstormers managed only a Sean Halton home run off of Gabby Hernandez. 2-1 the final score, but he pitched very well. Shirley at 1-2. Giansani pops this up. Shallow center field. Back on this a long way back goes Bell. He is called off by Bo Amaral coming in. Amaral making the catch. Gillespie unable to move. Way too shallow, and Kevin Aaron stepping in. Aaron's at 277 with 10 home runs, 50 runs banded in. He knocked in all 3 runs for the Skeeters here last night as the Barnstormers picked up the 4-3 victory in the series opener.
I'll say one more thing about the delivery. It's fewer and fewer do pitchers go over the head at the start of their windup. It is almost banned by pitching coaches when they get new pitchers, at least college level, high school level, and in the big leagues. Everything's more simplified. Yeah. Moving parts are almost
to me, it seems like wasted motion.
It kind of is.
First pitch fastball in for a strike. It's 0-1. I guess for some people it can be a timing mechanism.
Yep. You get a little more snap on some of your breaking balls, but it gives you leisure to hang more of them if your arm slot isn't repeated right.
0-1 pitch. Got him to climb the ladder. 0-2 on Aaron's. Shirley faced the Skeeters in that 6-game series coming out of the All-Star break down in Sugar Land. The Barnstormers lost that game big. Fastball is up. Ball 1 and 2 strikes.
I think of one pitcher in particular who started out his career with the over-the-head move was Barry Zito, and then simplified everything at the end because people figured him out and started to tattoo him.
Aaron's bats 1-2. The pitch upstairs again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shirley in that start down in Texas, a game that resulted in an 11-2 Sugar Land win, gave up 7 hits and 5 runs in 2 2/3 innings. He was fine through 2, then gave up 2-run homers to Joe Benson and Kevin Aaron's in the 3rd inning. They were able to build another run after that. Breaking ball fouled into the first base seats. Aaron's remains alive with a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gillespie at second with 2 outs. Ball game underway tonight. It's too early to intensely scoreboard watch. But the Barnstormers need one of 2 teams to lose. Swing and a miss. Down goes Aaron's. They need either York or
Hey, Jane, check it out.
lose games. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, a man left. Bottom of the first coming up, there is no score.
Localflavor.com, local flavor, localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com, too. And you can get them right on your phone, thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Barnstormers are seeing right-hander Brett Marshall tonight, and they know all about Brett Marshall by now. It's the 5th time that they have faced this right-hander over the course of the season. They've seen him for 23 innings. He is 1-2 in the season series with a 5.09 ERA. Now, most of that ERA comes from his first start against the Barnstormers. He gave up 13 hits and 10 runs in his start at Constellation Field. Overall, 112 and 2/3 innings, 104 hits allowed. Marshall's problem, the base on balls. He has walked 60 and struck out 68 over the course of the year. There are some nights he gets away with the walks, other nights he does not. But he has pretty good stuff that got him to the major leagues for 3 appearances with the New York Yankees 4 years ago. But Marshall still isn't all that old. He is a 27-year-old resident of Houston, 6'1" and 195 pounds, facing Bo Amaral to lead things off for the Barnstormers here tonight. The first pitch is a strike. It's called by Nate Caldwell. It is 0-1. Albert Cordero at third, Anthony Giansani at short, Josh Prince at second, Kevin Aarons at first. Benson, Gillespie, and Oliveira, the outfield from left to right for the Skeeters tonight. As the pitch is low to Bo, 1 ball, 1 strike. Wilfredo Rodriguez was the DH last night. He's the catcher here this evening. Amaral awaits the 1-1 and takes upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Bo has 4 consecutive 2-hit games, and as a Barnstormer is batting .356 with 1 home run and 6 runs driven in. Left-handed hitter out of California, the LA area, awaiting the pitch. Ball 3 is low, 3 balls and a strike. Went to UCLA, got to play in the College World Series. Marshall into the wind to Amaral, 3-1 pitch, chopper toward first base. Charging in is Aarons, and he will feed Marshall for the out, 3-1. 1 man down, Trayvon Robinson, the designated hitter, will come to the plate. .274 with 5 home runs for Trayvon. Robinson is the guy who, more than anybody else this year, has sort of become everybody's friend in the ballpark. He has that engaging, warm, outgoing personality, and it doesn't matter who you are, what your role is here, you've gotten to know Trayvon. And there's a lot to be said for having a guy like that around.
Wonderful clubhouse personality. Same with Lastings. Both very personable gentlemen, guys who are fun-spirited. Sanford was the same way. Stir up conversation real easy with them.
To Robinson, a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Cole Garner, the right fielder, waiting on deck.
The stories between those gentlemen, they never stop.
Called second strike at the knees. Robinson finds himself trailing. Switch hitter batting left against Bo Marshall. Each club scored a run in the first inning last night. That's in the dirt and scooting away from Rodriguez. Robinson goes over, picks up the loose baseball, and makes the backhanded shovel toss to the bat boy.
I think Trayvon might lead in team interviews throughout the entire staff, how personable he is.
He's always available.
Yes, and always wants to talk to somebody.
Fastball up and away, ball 3 and 2 strikes, full count. He enjoys playing for the Barnstormers. He really does. It's been a great experience for him. He's fond of the community. Payoff pitch, and he'll get the walk. Or not. 3 and 2.
2 strikes.
3 and 2. Robinson back in to face the payoff pitch from Marshall, who will run a lot of deep counts. And there's the walk. So I already had it down in my scorebook. 1 out. Cole Garner will come to the plate. Looks like clouds are building out to the west. Garner to come to the plate. 260 for Cole with 3 home runs and 14 runs driven in. No storms on the radar, not as of yet. Marshall goes to first base. Robinson jumps back in. 13 for 14. There's no telling how many steals Trayvon would have by now because he's a very good base stealer. but his legs just haven't been there for large chunks of the season. Offering to Garner is high. Ball 1 and no strikes. Sean Halton waits on deck, man on a 6-game RBI streak. He's been driving in runs in bunches. To Garner, popped up, foul ground, coming over is Ahrens. Ahrens toward the railing, looking in and can't quite get there. Ball ends up back on the field of play. A ball and a strike to Cole Garner. You talk about Halton. He has 10 runs batted in the last 6 games and 14 in the last 8. 4 home runs in that span. He's one of those guys, when he gets hot, he'll carry a ball club. Garner batting, 1 ball, 1 strike. Robinson has the lead from first. Marshall comes to the set. He'll work to the plate. Garner chases a pitch in the dirt, and then Rodriguez has to run after it, but Robinson didn't get the break off first and holds his ground. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Garner with 1 out and the runner on at first. Marshall against the Barnstormers in the first 23 innings of the year, it allowed 26 hits and 14 walks. He will give up the base on balls. He already has tonight. To Garner, here's the 1-2, fastball fouled to the screen, which means he'll run up the pitch count.
And then not go too deep into ball games. You've seen a lot of 6-inning games out of him.
He'll usually go 5 or 6.
5 or 6, yep.
In fact, he's got quite a streak going in terms of doing that. He is
about 4 or 5 in a row, I believe.
He's gone
since July
6 or more
5th.
innings in 5 straight starts,
Yeah.
5 or more in 13 straight. One ball, 2 strikes, still on Garner. Robinson leads off first. Here's the set and the pitch. Cole drives a foul the other way, headed in the direction of Prince Street. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Might be able to put the sun shields away here in a few minutes.
Wouldn't mind.
Garner continues to bat. Robinson inching his way off first. And Marshall's pitch, ground ball. It'll sneak through the left side. A seeing eye single. On to second goes Robinson. And it's set up now for Sean Halton, the third baseman. The league RBI leader with 68. Has runners at first and second and 1 out. 262 hitter is Halton with 20 home runs. He has 22 doubles and 3 triples. And our contestant tonight for the Gockenauer Home Appliances hit for this cycle promotion chose Sean Halton, and how can you not? Maybe you could go with Garner, maybe a completely healthy Trayvon Robinson.
I think they went with Garner yesterday, Coronado the day before, so Halton's typically your best bet now with this team, with the lineup Ross puts out.
Fastball is inside. Halton gets the early edge, 1-0. Steve Clevenger, the first baseman, who hit a home run to win it last night, waits on deck. It was his first Atlantic League extra base hit. Line drive that clipped the front corner of the tent. Lights are coming on here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Here's a 1-0. Halton with a swing and a foul to the right. It is 1-1.
Halton only 6 RBIs ahead of Michael Snyder, and lo and behold, there's Casey Hobson still in the in the ladder boards. Same in home runs.
He's been gone 5-6 weeks now.
And he's still on all the average homers and RBIs.
The Halton 1-1 in on the hands, popped up foul down the right field side. A long way to go for Ahrens and Oliveira. Nobody can get to it. Marshall has Halton at 1-2 with Clevenger scheduled to follow. Robinson aboard at second, Garner on at first. The Barnstormers have been wrapping out the base hits on this homestand. They have 42 in the first 4 games. They have hit 301 as a club at home this year. Very comfortable in their own yard, and it doesn't matter which edition of this ball club you're talking about. Halton with a swing and a fly ball lifted out the center. Robinson will go back to tag. Gillespie there to make the catch, and Trayvon is going to bolt ahead to third. The Barnstormers get runners at the corners, and Clevenger will step in. We talked about Halton all year, how many times he has flied out to center field this season. But lately, some of those balls have been clearing the center field wall. If he can straighten them out, his power can be to dead center. He's strong enough to clear a 400-foot mark. We've seen him do it a couple of times. Now here is Steve Clevenger now trying to plate the game's first run. Steve at 288. He has 1 home run. He has driven in 5.
Pretty sure Halton could put one off the Keystone sign where Andy Wilkins put it.
First and third with 2 outs. And a Clevenger fastball catches the outside corner at the knees. Great location from Brett Marshall. And it is 0-1. The key to getting to Marshall is you have to make him pay for those walks. Robinson has one. He's the runner at third. Clevenger takes a ball low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Got to capitalize on the free base runners.
Crowd has settled in rather nicely here. Much bigger than it was at the start of the game. I was a bit concerned. Here comes the 1-1. Fastball is up to Clevenger. On deck is shortstop Garrett Weber.
Especially on the left field side. They're really packed. Not a whole lot of empty seats. Here for the fireworks, I'm sure most of them.
Here comes the 2-1. Ball 3 is upstairs. Steve Clevenger with the edge in the count. Weber on deck, a guy who has fared pretty well against right-handed pitching. Lancaster trying to score once again in the first inning and get the early jump. Garner takes off. The pitch is high and wide, ball 4. Clevenger also on with a walk. Weber will step in with the bases full. A big opportunity for the Barnstormers here. Garrett coming to the plate. He is 2 for 5 with the bases loaded on the year, with successes his last 2 trips. Robinson stays at third. Garner up to second. Clevenger is now aboard. And it's up to Weber here in the opening inning. It's been a long inning already for Marshall. 26 pitches in. Now to Weber. Breaking ball and a good one across for a strike. It is 0-1.
Glad Weber didn't swing first pitch like Garner did yesterday in that big inning against Hale.
Next pitch, another breaking ball, and this gets there for a second strike. So Marshall has really established a beachhead on the at-bat against Garrett Weber at no balls and 2 strikes, trying to pitch free from a bases-loaded jam here with 2 outs in the opening inning. 0-2. Marshall ready to go. Next pitch, sails high. Ball 1, 2 strikes. Trying to deke Weber into thinking another breaking ball might be coming that would dart down into the zone. Garrett would have nothing of it. Marshall ready to go. Here's the 1-2, and that's a breaking ball outside and low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rodriguez and Marshall will have to cook up something different. 2 walks around a ground ball base hit here in the first inning for the Barnstormers. Garrett Weber batting 2-2. Fastball up and in. He went too far on it, and he's gone on strikes.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Not only does the Federal Tap House have the largest selection of craft draft beers in Lancaster City, they have amazing food to go along with those elite beers. Open every day for both lunch and dinner, their menu has something for everyone, including a special lunch menu available every Monday through Friday, as well as their normal menu. So when you're in the mood for great wood-fried pizzas, handcraft coal-fired burgers, or our all-inspiring duck fat fries, head over to the Federal Tap House. That's the Federal Tap House, 201 North Queen Street in downtown Lancaster, open by 11:30 every day of the week.
We go to the top of the second inning. Each club had a threat of sorts. The Barnstormers with the bigger one in the first inning. Neither club able to get a run across the plate. Catcher Wilfredo Rodriguez will lead off the second for the Skeeters. Rodriguez is hitting .335 with 2 home runs and 15 runs banded in. He beat out an infield single in the 9th inning last night that created quite a huge scare for the Barnstormers and their fans in that 9th inning, but Anthony Carter able to get through it, getting pinch hitter Josh Prince to fly to center with the bases loaded. Now Tommy Shirley to the plate, and Rodriguez stares at a strike. It is 0-1.
That sigh of relief when Amaral got settled under that fly ball to center.
Shirley comes back. Rodriguez takes, and a pitch down and away.
Could you have imagined if the umpiring crew actually charged Ross with the visit and forced probably Munson, or most likely Munson?
Ground ball up the middle. Rodriguez, he just makes contact and finds spots. He's got the leadoff base hit here in the second inning, and Cordero will step in. Well, the umpires had warned him and told him to go back.
That's right. Thank goodness they did.
But they would have been wrong. The Barnstormers,
ultimately, yes.
The Barnstormers would have protested the game
and
at that point and been able to come back with Carter to finish it.
Uh-huh.
So that's where protests come into play, is on rules interpretations.
Mm-hmm.
Judgment calls, no. But rules interpretations, yes. And that one would have been protestable. And I think the league would have had no choice but to honor the protest. Here is Cordero, the switching third baseman. Takes a swing and lofts a fly ball toward the right field corner. Over goes Garner. He is there to make the catch. Back to first goes Rodriguez. Cordero tried to shoot for the wall, but he comes up short. One away. Bringing on right fielder Hector Oliveira. Oliveira 292 with a couple of home runs, 13 runs banded in. And it's a very nice glove work out in right field last night, to say the least. Scoreless ball game here in the second inning. 1 out, 1 on. Shirley will go to work. Oliveira taking a pitch low. Ball 1-0. Tommy Shirley spent a fair amount of time in AAA in the Houston organization. At first Oklahoma City, and then after the move out to Fresno. Oklahoma City now with the Dodgers. They went through a huge reorganization of Major League affiliates in the Pacific Coast League a couple of years ago. And I'm still not sure I know who's where. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bouncing ball over on the left side. Halton gets it, goes to Bell, 1, back to first. That will not be in time. Oliveira safe on the fielder's choice. Ball hit too slowly. But they do force Rodriguez 5-4. Derek Miller will step to the plate with 2 outs and a runner on. When Colorado left Colorado Springs as their AAA affiliate, I got all confused. Milwaukee's in there now, and Oakland's in Nashville, and they just scrambled teams all over the place. But Colorado Springs will be moving, and that franchise will be moving to San Antonio in 2019. Colorado Springs will be going from AAA to rookie ball.
AAA to rookie ball.
They've had AAA baseball in there for more than 30 years. And most of that time lately with the Rockies, I think originally it might have been Cleveland. 1 ball, no strikes to Miller. Grounded to third. Halton will make the long throw across and
Tommy Shirley gives up the leadoff ground single, nothing else, no runs, one hit, no errors, and there was one runner left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the second inning, still no score.
Enjoy great ballpark food at discount prices. The Lancaster Barnstormers offer numerous chances to enjoy your favorite ballpark foods this summer. On Sundays, Burke's hot dogs are only $1 all game long. Hess's Barbecue brings back the all-you-can-eat pig roast on Mondays and all-you-can-eat chicken and ribs on Tuesdays. Tuesdays are also Fill Your Tummy nights at the stadium where, for only $10, you can stuff yourselves with popcorn, hot dogs, fries, nachos, and soda. Upstairs, we have Pat's Pizza and Pinball Mondays and Fat Pig's Wing Wednesdays where you can pair food and beer with a Barnstormers game. Barnstormers baseball, make a night of it.
Silicon, microprocessors, and thousands of lines of code. Raw elements transformed into innovation by Lexus. For a limited time, experience advanced safety technology for yourself at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. But hurry, these offers won't last. Now through September 5th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Lastings Millage, Tyler Clark, and Josh Bell as scheduled hitters for the Barnstormers in the lower half of the second inning against Brett Marshall. Marshall and Tommy Shirley going at it in a scoreless ball game so far tonight. What the Barnstormers have been able to do recently, although not the case in the last start for Shirley, is win the low-scoring games. The 4-3s like last night. The first half, they had to score a lot of runs to win, and it wasn't necessarily that the pitching staff was any better or worse, but the Barnstormers would win 8-2 and then lose 4-2. It was going that way. Pitch to Millage, inside a ball, 1-0. Well, Marshall will throw a lot of pitches, and he has already tonight.
What's he at? Low 30s?
I had 31 in that first inning. We'll check
I had around 30.
the official league record as we go. Next pitch below the knees, 2-0. Clark waiting on deck. He'll bat from the left side of the plate. Sooner or later, Tyler is going to do something big at the plate. He's been close. 3-0 to Millage. And I can almost guarantee Lastings will take a pitch here. He's not been swinging the bat well. His average has tailed off to 272. He'll look at a strike from Marshall, now 3-1. Try and set up the inning. Here's the wind. Marshall to the plate, and that falls low. Ball 4. Millage picks up the walk. Marshall has given up 3. Grab phone, text Kristen. She may be here.
I think she is. I ran into her earlier.
I saw her earlier as well. It's Big Friday night.
Yeah. Got tires on it. Jack Williams will already be out.
Tires are on deck.
4. Yeah, they are.
Aha, she beat me to the punch.
Did she?
Yes. We're on this Jack Williams promotion. Here's the pitch. Tyler Clark with a swing and a miss. Down a strike, it's 0-1. Clark at 157. Hitless in 14 at-bats over his last 6 games. He has no home runs. He has driven in 8, double and a triple for him. Millage, the runner at first. He'll get a throw from Marshall. Lastings dives back in. Lancaster has had 4 base runners out of the first 7 men to step in, but nobody has crossed the plate. 0-1, the count to Clark. Marshall ready to go. Here's the pitch. Swung on line drive, base hit, right field. Millage will only be able to get the second as Oliveira grabs it on a bounce. First and second with nobody gone. Josh Bell, the second baseman, stepping in.
Nice stroke there out of Tyler Clark. He loaded up and got that right over into right field. One that Oliveira, unlike yesterday, actually didn't get to this time.
That ball was wicked line drive out there. Well, if you had told me at the outset of this season, when the Barnstormers had the likes of Noel and Coburnis and on and on and on, Aarons, and that Josh Bell on August the 4th would be the starting second baseman, knowing Josh was coming off a pretty serious knee injury from winter ball, I would have looked at you like it's time for the white coats.
Sure.
But here we are. It's Atlantic League Baseball. Switch hitter Bell, the starting third baseman for the Barnstormers a year ago, batting at a ball and no strikes. Marshall comes back with a big hook and misses down and in. It is 2-0. Millage at second, Clark aboard at first. Nobody gone here in the second inning, and the Barnstormers looking to build something big to back Tommy Shirley. Something they have not done in Shirley's starts. To Bell, 2-0, strike on the outside corner at the knees. Marshall's funny. He's either out of the strike zone or right on his spot. I guess that's the effectively wild moniker. 2 balls, 1 strike with runners at first and second. Here's the set and a Bell. Strike 2 again at the knees on the outside corner. Right there. Bell batting 2-2. Josh 267 with 1 home run and 3 runs knocked in. He got a base hit the other night, hitting a ball that got Nate Coronado in the foot. Second time it happened in the series. And to Bell, ball 3 is low. The count fills 3-2. Bell checking in with Ross Peoples to see if Millage and Clark are running here. You got decent speed, but you would also give Rodriguez a clean shot at third base. The runners are going to stick around, and there's a ball lined into right center field. That is a base hit. Up with it is Gillespie. Here comes Millage. He's going to score. Clark around to third. Josh Bell showing his team how to get it done. Drives in the run. The Barnstormers with a 1-0 lead, and Bo Amaral stepping in.
Nice to see the Stormers making it hurt this time. All the pitches in and out of the zone, and finally Bell got one right where he needed it, stroked it nicely right into center field.
A clean base hit into right center field. Good swing on the 3-2 pitch for Josh Bell. He didn't overswing. Just meeting the ball, driving in the run.
That's exactly what Amaral needs to do as well.
Amaral,
easy strokes for that right center.
Amaral steps in, 3-1 ground out for him back in the first inning. Infield set, double play depth. Here's a pitch to Bo, cut on and missed, down a strike. It is 0-1. The corners playing ahead of the bag. Clark, the runner at third base, very fast guy. That has often, I think, been overlooked, how fast that guy is. Breaking ball misses its target. And Amaral, 1 ball, 1 strike. When we talk about Marshall walking as many people as he does, he's not ridiculously wild. You're not seeing pitches above heads or in the dirt, but he misses the zone. Here's a 1-1. Amaral makes contact but fouls it to the third base side, hitting the upper level of the stadium, bouncing off back down into the crowd below. Bo up there at 1-2. He's got Clark at third and Bell at first. Who would have thought Josh Bell would have more stolen bases than home runs at this point? He started the night with as many stolen bases as he had runs batted in. 1-2 to Amaral. High and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Marshall does not have an out in the second inning, and his pitch count is approaching 50. Amaral batting 2-2. Trayvon Robinson waiting on deck. Here's the motion and the offering. Swing and a miss. Amaral down on strikes. Something you won't see terribly often. Marshall trying to fight his way back from another tight spot. He has given up 1 run. Here's Trayvon Robinson, who walked back in the first inning. You would think sacrifice flies would be reasonably routine. The Barnstormers have 27 of them for the year, not 1 in the last 12 games. Wouldn't mind seeing one right now. Robinson takes a pitch upstairs. Ball 1, no strikes. Barnstormers on the board, but hungry for more. They didn't make the most of their opportunities last night, but won 4-3. 12 hits, including 4 for extra bases, but only the 4 runs. 1-0 to Robinson. Marshall with the next offering, fouled back to the screen. The count will level. And a ball and a strike here. York up early, 5-1 at New Britain in the bottom of the second inning. York has gotten crazy good.
Yeah, that's scary.
It is
scary. That is really scary for York.
They are putting up ridiculous numbers of runs on the scoreboard.
Yesterday they got to 10.
A ball and a strike to Robinson. Here's the delivery. Trayvon, chopper toward third. Clark coming home. Here's the throw. He is safe at the plate.
He was.
Gary Gaetti's going to come out and argue. Wilfredo Rodriguez already is. Albert Cordero fired to the plate. Rodriguez gets Brett Marshall out of there.
I don't know what they're arguing about. Well, I know what they're arguing about, but Rodriguez had the ball in the inside part of the diamond, and Clark's foot comes along the outside of the diamond and scrapes the plate. I don't know why they're so irate here. Even Cordero's yelling to protect his backstop. And Caldwell's over there just saying, what are you guys complaining about? Probably said the same thing I just did.
Robinson will get an RBI. He's safe on the fielder's choice. Bell ahead to second base. Lancaster with a 2-0 lead. Cole Garner will step in. Garner a base hit back in the first inning.
Gosh, if you had replay down here, that would have just made things embarrassing for Marshall and Rodriguez to try and contest that.
Well, so we think from up here.
Yeah.
I thought he was safe.
Oh, I definitely believe he was safe.
To Garner, a swing and a foul tip. Cole down a strike. It is 0-1.
I think I'd put the house on it. That's how much I believe he is safe.
But that was the 53rd pitch right there from Marshall. 1 out, runners at first and second, 2 across here in the bottom of the second inning. Garner trying to add to the lead. Marshall to the plate, 0-1, swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes.
Now the throw beat him, but the glove work wasn't there from Rodriguez.
Fastball runs inside. Ball 1 to Garner. Sean Halton waits on deck. Lancaster 2, Sugarland nothing. Here's the set, the 1-2, line drive down the left field line, a base hit. Here comes Bell around to score, chugging for third is Robinson into second, standing with a double is Cole Garner. It is 3-0 Lancaster, and Sean Halton will bat with 2 in scoring position. Garner has not looked good through 2 strikes, 2 at-bats in a row, and I won't say that was a wicked line drive down the left field line. He got jammed, but Cole is so big and strong, he was just able to yank that over Cordero's head down the line. Benson didn't have to chase it to the corner. He had to sprint straight across and dig it out of the bullpen.
Yeah, he certainly got jammed and muscled it just right over the head. Cordero and Benson, yeah, he had a fine, easy play for it, but nonetheless, everyone chugged around.
3-0 Lancaster. Halton digs in, the infield playing halfway up. And to Sean, swinging a fly ball, lobbed out to right field, down the line. Charging in is Oliveira. He'll make the catch, and there's no chance for Trayvon Robinson to come home and score. Well, Halton, twice in a row now, has missed out on an opportunity to extend his RBI streak to 7 games. It'll be up to Steve Clevenger if he sees much here. Second and third, 2 outs, left-handed batter digging in. He's already walked once in the game tonight. The Barnstormers have collected 4 hits, 3 walks. They get an extra base runner on the fielder's choice. Now 8 base runners already, 3 are home. Clevenger batting with 2 outs, runners at second and third, and to Steve, a strike on the outside black. It is 0-1. And Marshall either finds it or he's off the plate.
Talk about giving credit when credit is due to the bottom half of the order to set things up. and set the table for the top half of the order.
Fastball up and away. Marshall batting at a ball and a strike. Lancaster has taken a 3-0 lead for Tommy Shirley. Tommy might be trying to figure out what this is all about, this 3-run lead idea. Clevenger gets a breaking ball down low, 2 balls and a strike. In Shirley's 5 previous starts, the Barnstormers have averaged 2.8 runs. Smash fair inside the bag at third by Clevenger. This will get 2 more home. Robinson has scored, Garner coming, and into second is Clevenger just ahead of the throw. He has a 2-run double. The Barnstormers lead 5-0. That's beautiful when a batter can sneak one inside the bag in the other direction. Clevenger able to do it to drive 2 more home. A 5-run inning. Clevenger really starting to pan out for the Barnstormers. We're getting a mound visit here by Rafael Montalvo. Garrett Weber will be the 9th man to bat here in the Lancaster second inning. This is what the Barnstormers have done since the All-Star break. We have talked all year about the Barnstormers' difficulties driving in the runner from third base with fewer than 2 outs. But now, and we've seen this a lot here the last 2 or 3 weeks, when the guy batting with 1 out and the runner at third base doesn't drive in the run, the guy with 2 outs does.
Yes.
Has just happened between Halton and Clevenger. It'll be Garrett Weber with Clevenger at second, 2 outs here. The Barnstormers with a pair of doubles in this second inning to go along with 2 singles, a walk, and 1 fielder's choice where no out was recorded. 5-0 Lancaster, and here is Weber. Garrett tries to hold on the swing. They will ask for help, and Garrett gets rung up. He's having trouble with Marshall. 1 strike to Weber, who struck out back in the first inning. Marshall comes back, another breaking ball. Garrett taking this time. It's a ball and a strike. Garrett's had trouble reading the pitches of Marshall. Fastball, breaking ball combinations. 1-1 gets there a second strike. Marshall has Weber on the ropes at 1-2. Clevenger, the runner at second base. 2 men out in the inning as the Barnstormers have batted around against Marshall. Here's the motion, 1-2, breaking ball. He gets a piece, stays in there. But how long is Marshall going to be able to go? 65 pitches here and working just his second inning.
And they just now have some guys actually stretching out in the bullpen.
I mean, this isn't Texas heat and humidity, but it's still rather sticky here tonight. 1-2. Fastball is up. Garrett batting 2 balls and 2 strikes. 35th pitch this inning for Brett Marshall. Weber awaits the 2-2. Marshall ready to go. Here's the delivery. This is skied to right. Should be easy for Oliveira coming toward the line. Calling off his second baseman, Prince, and making the catch. It ends the inning, but Lancaster picks up 5 runs, sending 9 men to the plate. There were 4 hits in the inning, 1 man left on, and at the end of 2, the Barnstormers have grabbed a 5-0 lead.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Enjoy baseball and music this summer at Clipper Magazine Stadium. No matter what your taste in music might be, we have a night for you. Rock, oldies, country, funk, jazz. We have it all covered over 8 weekend nights this season. Each of those evenings will kick off with a Barnstormers game at 6:30. Following the baseball action, music will take the spotlight to complete our entertainment doubleheader. Check your Lancaster Barnstormers pocket schedule or our website at www.lancasterbarnstormers.com to check out the concert dates. Barnstormers Baseball. Make a night of it.
Tommy Shirley in uncharted waters for himself here in 2017. What is this concept of 5-0 lead? He'll go to the third inning. In his last 2 starts, the Barnstormers have lost 2-1 at Southern Maryland, and the game he started at New Britain, he came out with a 1-0 lead. Lancaster would win 2-1, but he was not involved in the decision. He's facing Josh Prince to start off the third inning. Prince batting .252, 8 home runs. He has knocked in 39. Pinch hit last night and flied out for the final out in the ball game. Now against Shirley, he takes a strike. It is 0-1. Prince, brand new dad. Just rejoining his ball club yesterday and beaming from ear to ear.
Is that baby girl?
Baby girl.
Baby girl.
1 ball and 1 strike.
They say a name?
He didn't tell me.
Okay.
Shirley ready to go. Here's the 1-1. Prince pops this up, first base side and into the seats. Make it 1-2. Living in Phoenix, Arizona now, originally from Lake Charles, Louisiana, as Josh Prince got to the major leagues. He has a lot of skills on the field. He can do things at second base that most cannot.
Unless you're
1-2
Alexi Casilla.
ground ball, second base, handled by Halton. The flip across the diamond. Prince retired. Shirley gets 7 of 9 the first time through the batting order. Joe Benson now will step in. Benson flied out the left, leading off. Benson, a very capable outfielder. He made some plays, some great plays in Sugar Land, and we saw a nice running catch back toward the wall from him last night. The Shirley delivery gets there, a called strike, 0-1. Tommy comes back with an offering low. The count is 1-1. Lancaster hanging a 5 spot on the board in the bottom of the second inning. And Shirley not showing any signs of rust from the long inning. Here's the next offering. This is popped up, shallow right. Josh Bell going back. He'll take that. 2 outs. Is there a light flickering in here, or am I suddenly really sick?
I hope you're not sick.
2 outs, and Cole Gillespie stepping in. Gillespie with a double inside the third base bag back in the first inning. Had a chance to meet Cole yesterday. We had a laugh. They say he told me that his name has been butchered by PA announcers on the road, and I'm thinking to myself, how hard could Gillespie be?
Wow,
but
that is a rough one to know.
John Whitwer's going to get it right.
Yeah.
And he did. 0-1. Swinging a foul tip. 2 strikes. The only thing I can think of is that you think it's like Gillespie.
Gillespie.
Gillespie, and that's what he told me they had done.
even though there's no
no balls
T
and
in
2
the name.
strikes.
Oregon State product.
Pretty good baseball school.
How about it? Another Milwaukee Brewer piece.
No balls, 2 strikes. Shirley to the plate. That's smashed on the right side. JB knocks it down, picks it back up. He's got time, and Shirley has a 1-2-3 inning. A 10-pitch inning for Tommy Shirley. He's retired 6 in a row now, and we'll go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning with the Barnstormers up by 5.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that would bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Hey Barnstormers fan, be in the know as soon as it happens. We have a number of social media options for you to stay in touch with everything Stormers. Know what Silo's up to, the latest player moves, game results, schedule changes, and be the first to get in on surprise flash deals. Or simply buy our tickets or ask us questions. So like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, watch us on YouTube, and be a part of the growing Barnstormers family on social media.
So what you're telling me is I'm not losing my mind. There is actually a light flickering up there because every time I check it out, it's not doing it.
Just to spite you, Dave. Just to spite you.
There is a famous scene, one of my favorite scenes from the movie Arthur, and there are a lot of favorite scenes I have from the movie Arthur, which is before your time. 1981, Sir John Gielgud, Liza Minnelli, Dudley Moore. About a wealthy playboy meeting up with the working girl. It's a great romantic comedy, but anyway. Breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. Sir John Gielgud played the butler. And at one point, he has the line something about, did the lights go out or do I have a brain tumor? Something like that. Nothing in 2.
No brain tumors for you, Dave. Please no.
Clark and Bell will follow. Offering is low from Marshall. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. Brett Marshall needs to be very economical for the next couple of innings to save his bullpen. Millage looks at a breaking ball low. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and it's another pretty deep count for Marshall, who has thrown 70 pitches already tonight. Millage with the leadoff walk to kick off the 5-run inning last time around. Takes a pitch in the dirt and skips past Rodriguez all the way to the screen. And we now have a 3-2 count.
Marshall's really enjoying these 3-2 counts and really probably getting Rafael Montalvo and Gary Gaetti a little fired up.
Payoff pitch. Millage will take the walk on a breaking ball down and away. And we're giving discounts on tires.
Yes. If they leave Marshall in, you might be able to get your second car done too.
Leadoff man is aboard. Tyler Clark is in. I almost texted my wife. She would have wondered what I was talking about. Pitch is inside to Clark. Ball 1 and no strikes.
She'd be asking you, does the car need new tires?
Why do I care you have 4 walks? What? Breaking ball is inside. That's 6 in a row out of the strike zone for Marshall.
Maybe she would have played along.
2 balls and nothing to Tyler Clark. I don't think either one of our cars needs tires at the moment. To Clark, here's the 2-0 pitch. He checks, and the pitch is there for strike 2-1.
I was going to say, you can hand it off to one of your sons.
I find out Kristen is actually in the press box tracking the game right now, so I didn't need to text her. 2-1. Millage leads off first base, draws a throw from Marshall. Lancaster leading by a score of 5-0 here in the lower half of the third inning and hungry for more. Marshall to the plate, Clark with a big swing and a miss. Trying to get one up into the breeze, and Tyler's strong enough. He doesn't need that wind blowing out to right field. If he ever catches hold of one, the wind would only add some assistance. I've watched Clark in batting practice, and he can hit the ball a long way.
He's thrown him into the harbor real nice and easy.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Another throw to first, chasing Millage back. On deck, Josh Bell, who drove in the first of the 5 runs last inning. The set now 2-2. Clark with a smash that's knocked down by Marshall. He'll chase it down and can only get the out at first base. 1-3. Millage up the second with 1 out. And Josh Bell stepping in. Ball hit Marshall fairly squarely, and he was able to recover it off to the first base side of the mound. Gary Gaetti and Max Mahaffey, the trainer, out to check in on the starting right-hander. Rafael Montalvo will join in on the conversation. Nobody was warming up in the bullpen for Sugarland, but this could present itself as a reason to make a pitching change here. I don't think they want to go to the bullpen this early, even though they only had to use 2 pitchers last night for 2 innings and played just a 7-inning game the night before. And Marshall getting some additional warm-up throws. We're 1 out into the third inning. Lasting's Millage at second base. Josh Bell stepping in. Clean single into right center field. Back in the second inning. Barnstormers trying to build upon the lead. But Marshall has thrown 78 pitches.
They're 2 1/3.
Here's the pitch to JB. He goes after it, fouling it off. No balls and a strike. 31-36, and now he's up to 12 this inning. One of the catchers, probably Santiago Nessie, down to the bullpen. Bell tries to hold on the swing, can't. And it's a quick 0-2. Pitch was in the dirt. Fireworks to follow the game tonight, even though the sky is clouded over, hazed over. There's no immediate threat of rain. Bell takes the 0-2, lifts this to shallow left field. Going back, the shortstop Anthony Giansani is there for the play. And the inning is left up to Bo Amaral. 2 outs, Millage, the runner at second base. Amaral has hit safely the last 4, but tonight 0 for 2. Sean Halton trying to match the season-high hitting streak. 0 for 2 here tonight as well. And now we see where the Storms are. We're going to get hit, but it's going to be late. The Storms right around Interstate 81.
Don't tell Garner we're going to get hit. He's had enough of that.
Well,
He's sick and tired of that.
Breaking ball, good for a strike on the outside corner to Amaral.
I think Gardner was square up. It's like, who's going to come and hit me?
Well, that got to the point there for about a week. It was absurd.
Yeah.
Millage leads off second, 0-1 to Amaral. He swings and misses. Another guy that's had trouble with Marshall tonight. So is Weber and so is Halton. The guys who have him have him. Amaral down 0-2. Action has started in the Sugarland Skeeters bullpen. 2-strike pitch, fastball chipped the other way. Amaral was trying to do something similar to Steve Clevenger's 2-run double back in the second inning, go down the third baseline with it. But he sliced it foul. Bo will continue at no balls and 2 strikes. You notice how Marshall is coming right after hitters now, ahead in the count 0-2, because he's got to try and keep the pitch count down.
He has to. That's his only bid to stay in this ball game.
Amaral batting, no balls, 2 strikes. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. The throw will have to go to first base from Rodriguez. But Amaral strikes out for the second straight inning and becomes the 3rd strikeout victim overall for Marshall. No runs, no hits, no errors. The Barnstormers leave 1. We're at the end of 3. Lancaster up 5-0.
After you juggle the kids, sports, homework, housework, and squeeze in a moment for yourself, there isn't much time left to plan activities to keep your family having fun together. So give yourself a break and head to Strasburg Railroad, where the 45-minute steam train ride is just the beginning. There are family-friendly train events, vintage baseball, shop tours, a steampunk weekend, plus our popular Day Out with Thomas trains. The fun is as endless as your imagination. Reserve your tickets at strasburgrailroad.com.
The Federal Tap House is a great place to stop by after a Barnstormers game and continue your enjoyable evening in downtown Lancaster. Featuring 100 beers on tap, including many craft beers from here in Central PA, the Federal Tap House has something for everyone's palate, not to mention a full bar and elegant wine selection for the non-beer geeks in the group. For the entire lineup of brews, check online at federaltaphouse.com. That's at Federal Tap House, 201 North Queen Street, just blocks from Clipper Magazine Stadium, or at their other location in Harrisburg.
So far for the Barnstormers, 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 5 left. Sugarland, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and the Skeeters have stranded 2. Tommy Shirley to face Anthony Giansani, Kevin Ahrens, and Wilfredo Rodriguez, 3, 4, and 5 as Sugarland steps in here in the 4th inning. Taking a quick gander at the rest of the Atlantic League, York is up 6-1 in the 4th inning at New Britain Stadium. Somerset 1 and Southern Maryland nothing, top 3. Long Island with a 3-2 lead over Bridgeport in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. It's okay if Southern Maryland wins. We've established the argument on that.
Whatever York's putting in their pregame meals needs
Hopper
to stop.
over toward third base. Great leaping stop by Halton, and he will gun down Giansani. If that ball gets through to Garrett Weber, chances are it's a leadoff base hit. Halton sprinting in front of Weber, made the leaping grab and was able to get off a throw once he came back down. One away, nice play by Halton, and Kevin Ahrens will step in. Ahrens the lone strikeout victim so far for Tommy Shirley.
Gorgeous play by Halton over there to his left. Man, I didn't know if he was going to be able to plant and get a throw off, and he did. Clevenger was able to get it. Didn't even have to hardly move from the bag.
Shirley deals a breaking ball and gets ahead of Ahrens 0-1. Kevin Ahrens, the guy who got to Brad Bergeson last night, but really hasn't gotten anybody else here yet. There's a fly ball hit well to left field, but it's cavernous out there, and back just a couple of steps is Millage. That's 2 outs on 3 pitches. We talked about Marshall, who is up to 85 pitches for 3 innings. Well, the exact opposite is Tommy Shirley, who has been the epitome of efficiency so far here tonight. He's through 3 2/3 innings, and for Shirley, only 37 pitches thrown.
Now that's economical.
He'll go to work on Wilfredo Rodriguez, who was the last man to reach for Sugarland. Pitch, a strike right on the outside black. It's 0-1. Defense set straight away against Rodriguez. Very good contact hitter. Ground ball here foul over toward Gary Gaetti in the third base coach's box. 0-2. Skeeters coming off the high of winning the championship last year, and they are struggling here in 2017. In their case, it's been the injury bug. Swing and a miss. Down goes Rodriguez on 3 pitches. It is a 6-pitch top half of the 4th inning for Shirley. We'll go to the bottom half of the 4th. Lancaster's up 5-0.
Gockenauer Appliances in East Petersburg is your hometown appliance store with hometown values. We always give back to our community, and this year we are proud to be a sponsor of the East Petersburg Amphitheater Project. Stop in and purchase from us and keep your money here, helping others in your community. We are back again this season with a $25,000 giveaway at the stadium, and you can stop in and register for a Barnstormers game jersey. We want to be your appliance store and give back to all of you. Gockenauer Appliances in East Petersburg.
Hey, Jane, check it out. 2 brand new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery.
Yeah, you just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
And with Payday, you could win progressive top prizes instantly.
Instantly? That's fast.
Not faster than me drinking this frozen slush.
You okay?
Ouch. Headache.
Oh.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
We hit the home half of the 4th inning with Lancaster ahead by a 5-0 score. Brett Marshall remains on the hill for the Sugarland Skeeters. He'll be facing Robinson, Garner, and Halton in this 4th inning, facing them the 3rd time around. Barnstormers leaving 5 runners on base here for the first 3 innings and scoring 5 times. Robinson has walked and reached on a fielder's choice. He both scored and drove in a run in the 2nd inning. Storms coming in from the west, but we should be able to get the game and the fireworks in, I would like to think. A ball is low to Robinson, 1-0. That's not what Marshall needed to start off this inning. It was a close pitch. He didn't get the call. 1 ball, no strikes, and ball 2 is up. 2-0 to Robinson. 4 walks for Marshall. He has struck out 3. Lancaster with 5 hits off of him. Here's a 2-0 breaking ball hit in the air, left center field. Benson and Gillespie will converge. It'll be Benson, the left fielder, with the grab. 1 out. Cole Garner stepping in. Garner is 2 for 2 with a double. He's been able to take Marshall to left field both times. Marshall is getting better, but he is, I think, running out of string here tonight. He has pitched pretty well to the last 4 batters.
So far, that's only the 2nd time he's retired the leadoff batter.
Breaking ball is high to Cole, 1-0. And the Barnstormers are certainly aware how good Brett Marshall can be. They have seen him throw very well 3 of the 5 starts this year. 1-0, Garner lets it ride, and it's taken for a strike. We get the 1-1. Halton waiting on deck. 10-game hitting streak and 6-game RBI streak riding for Sean. To Garner, swing, and that ball is hit a long way to left field. Benson will chase it back, but it's onto the hill. A home run, and in 4 innings, Cole Garner has the single, the double, and the home run. The Barnstormers are up 6-0.
That was a poke, and Garner knew it. Tossed the bat. That one got on just before the walkway up past the lawn area.
A monster from Garner on a line drive that had plenty on it.
Here's another guy who do the same.
4th home run, and Sean Halton now will step in. Barnstormers leading by 6. We talked about how some guys have Marshall figured out and other guys in the lineup don't. He has done very well against Halton, Weber, and Amaral. Now to Sean. That ball ripped to third. One bounce to Cordero. And Halton is 0 for 3 on the 5-3 ground out. That was hit awfully hard, too. Steve Clevenger will step in. Steve with a walk, and back in the second inning, a 2-run double that iced the inning. A 5-run second inning as he slapped the ball past Cordero and down the third base line, driving in runners from second and third. 2 outs, bases empty here. Marshall into the motion, and the ball is outside to Clevenger, 1-0. The odd part about the Garner home run is I'm not sure it would have been out of York with that 37-foot high wall. That's about 70 feet closer to Clevenger. Breaking ball is inside. And we go to 1-1. Next pitch gets to the corner. That makes it 2 balls and a strike, rather. And is the 95th pitch thrown plateward by Marshall here tonight. 6-0 Lancaster. Here's a 2-1. Clevenger looks at a second strike. Now 2-2. Weber waiting on deck. A wind and a Clevenger. Ground ball the other way. Bobbled by Cordero. He has a chance to recover. And his low throw is dug up by Aarons. 5-3 ending the inning. Lancaster adds a run on a monster of a home run by Garner. 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We're done with 4, and it's 6-0 Lancaster.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with the Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 306 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350, IS all-wheel drive, and IS Turbo. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy baseball and music this summer at Clipper Magazine Stadium. No matter what your taste in music might be, we have a night for you. Rock, oldies, country, funk, jazz. We have it all covered over 8 weekend nights this season. Each of those evenings will kick off with a Barnstormers game at 6:30. Following the baseball action, music will take the spotlight to complete our entertainment doubleheader. Check your Lancaster Barnstormers pocket schedule or our website at www.lancasterbarnstormers.com to check out the concert dates. Barnstormers Baseball. Make a night of it.
Back in action now are the Barnstormers. Tommy Shirley trots back out to the mound, takes his warm-up pitches, and everything will now get underway. Stormers leading by a considerable margin going into the 5th inning of work. They lead 6-0. They have 6 hits to their credit. The Skeeters have a whopping 2. Alberto Cordero will settle into the box. He currently is 0 for 1. He flew out to right field his last time out. Shirley pitching very well, pitching very economically. Kicks and fires for strike 1. Very, very key component so far. He's been starting a lot of guys off with strike 1, and being able to establish that dominance and start on that leg, pitchers will tell you it's a difference maker. Comes back, strike 2. We'll also give you a look around the league, both in the major leagues and the rest of the Atlantic League. We'll do so right now with the Atlantic League. Long Island 3-2 over Bridgeport in the 4th. Somerset 1-0 right now, bottom of the 3rd over the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Shirley goes to a breaking ball. It'll miss outside. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Skeeters' third baseman yesterday, catcher. New Britain currently still trails the York Revolution 6-1. They are now in the top of the 5th inning. And as you see, the Stormers out to a 6-0 lead. This one will be a dribbler right back to Tommy Shirley. Gets it, gathers, fires. Easy play over to Steve Clevenger. 1-3 on the putout. Hector Oliveira will follow. He is also 0 for 1. He did reach base on the fielder's choice, however. Yesterday, he had 1 hit in 3 at-bats. He also walked in that one. Going through the big league scoreboard, there are several games already underway. Oliveira is going to line one right over to Halton. Halton will get it in one bounce, chuck it over to first. 2 up, 2 down. This has been the trend Shirley has been getting into all night long. Cardinals Reds going at Asher Wojciechowski is on the mound. They're at a 1-1 tie in the 5th inning with Cincinnati. Tigers and Orioles, they were delayed a couple times yesterday. They're doing fine right now. Top 3 tied 1 apiece. Gosman and Verlander in that one. Garrick Miller has started off with ball 1 just missing low. Jim Adducci has a home run for the Tigers credit. Padres and Pirates, they are delayed. Bottom 3 right now. Indians currently leading the Yankees. Jaime Garcia is making his debut for New York. Yesterday we saw Sonny Gray make his debut for the Yankees. 2 balls, no strikes now to Derek Miller. White Sox, Red Sox, 0-0. Carlos Rodon on the mound. He had an injury. He was out most of the year so far. He's made like 4 or 5 starts. Strike 1 call. 2 balls, 1 strike to Miller. Los Angeles Dodgers and Mets. We'll talk about another debut. Yu Darvish making his Dodgers debut against the Mets tonight. 2-0 lead in favor of Los Angeles. Ball 3 inside, just missing to Miller. Brewers and Rays 0-0 right now. They're only in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Miami and the Braves. The Bravos currently leading 1-0 without the benefit of a hit. A couple errors right now on the Marlins' credit. That'll be ball 4 in the dirt. Shirley surrenders a walk to keep the inning alive for the Sugarland Skeeters.
Now batting the second baseman Josh Prince, your Schwanger Brothers K-Man of the game.
That is the first walk that Shirley has allowed thus far. Schwanger Bros K-Man's coming up. That'll be Josh Prince, the second baseman, the number 9 hitter in the order. Prince bats with a runner on base. He looks at ball 1, delivered by Tommy Shirley. We have a finalized game. It is the Nationals over the Cubs, 4-2. Tanner Roark gets his 9th win of the season. Kyle Hendrick suffers the loss. He is 4-4. And Sean Doolittle, who was acquired around the trade deadline for the aching bullpen of the Nationals, saves his 5th game. Came over from the Oakland Athletics. 2 balls and no strikes now to Josh Prince. Couple games going on this evening, more than a couple I should say. The Rangers and Twins will get in at things. Martin Perez against Bartolo Colon. Ball 3. Sudden bit of wildness we're seeing out of Tommy Shirley that we had not seen the previous 4 innings. 3 balls, no strikes to Josh Prince. Blue Jays and Astros, Cesar Valdez against Brad Peacock, a former teammate of Tommy Shirley's. Tommy Shirley, 3-0 offering will be right down the gut for the strike. Yeah, Brad Peacock and Tommy Shirley pitched a decent bit at Fresno together. Peacock has pitched in several different organizations, the Royals and the Astros, the Oakland Athletics. This one will miss for ball 4. Back-to-back walks have something stirring now for the Sugarland Skeeters, and with back-to-back walks, that will warrant a trip and a talk from pitching coach Scott Patterson. Seattle Mariners and the Royals will be in action tonight. James Paxton, the Big Maple, as they call him now in Washington, against Jason Hamill, who's 5-8 on the year, has had a rough year and some rough starts for the Royals as they try to hold their advantage over the rest of the Central and try and get to the Cleveland Indians, who lead it. The Phillies and Rockies in Colorado, Vince Velasquez at 2-6 will be opposed by Kyle Freeland, 11-7 for the rookie. Athletics and Angels, Gerald Cotton and Troy Scribner will be opposing each other. And for the Diamondbacks and Giants, the 9:15 start, that's going to be Anthony Banda and Madison Bumgarner. Scott Patterson trots back to his dugout. Joe Benson steps into the plate, and Barnstormers hope to minimize any damage that could be forthcoming in the inning. Shirley gets his sign and delivers. This one will be fouled at the plate for strike one. Benson bats. He's 0 for 2 currently. He's flown out to both the left fielder and the second baseman tonight. Benson yesterday was 1 for 4. He had a single in the first, struck out twice, and had a fly out to center field. Shirley checks his runners, delivers home. This one will be smashed out in the left field. Will it stay fair? No, it will not. It'll go foul right into the corner, thank goodness. A sigh of relief from the fans here in attendance and Tommy Shirley, no doubt. So Benson will grab his bat and come back to the batter's box and bat with no balls and 2 strikes with 2 men down. Stormers in their half of the 5th, they will have leading off for them Garrett Weber, followed by Lastings Milledge, and the batter in the hole will be Tyler Clark, the catcher. Things will reset, ball will get put back in play. Shirley will get his sign, and he'll deliver the pitch. And here's that pitch. That'll just miss a little high and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. So after Shirley retires the first 2 batters on very minimal effort, he walks Miller. Prince gets on base. And now Benson's still up. Another ball is going to miss outside, high and away. Count is now leveled at 2 balls and 2 strikes. No sign of any action for the Barnstormers, and really surprising, no sign of any action for the Skeeters, as Marshall's pitch count is very high. Swing and a miss, strike 3 as Benson muscles up, but in the end comes up with nothing but air. Stormers get through the inning unscathed. No runs, no hits. 2 runners will be left on base without the benefit of any hits. Shirley, sigh of relief, gets out of the inning. Barnstormers will be coming to bat.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
And continue to 6-0. Marshall back out for another inning of work, and what we've seen so far, he's been beginning a lot of at-bats with a breaking ball. He's been notching his curveball to start things out to many batters. He goes right back to it and quickly jumps ahead of Garrett Weber. No balls and 2 strikes. Right now, Brett Marshall He's thrown 57 strikes. He's thrown 41 balls. 58 strikes as it's just been updated, and 41 balls. So he's already at pitch 99. Here's 100, and Weber will toss the bat away in disgust as this one is floated right over to Hector Oliveira in right field. 1 down on 3 pitches. Now there's something different. We don't see a lot of subtle counts like that, and few pitches thrown for the first time by Marshall. Only 3, where he started many guys off with much higher amounts. So F9 for Weber. Coming up to bat now is Lastings Millage. Millage is he's 1 for 1. He walked in the 2nd inning, and in the 3rd inning also led off. He singled that time around. Marshall digs and throws. That one will miss inside, ball 1. He went to the fastball that time. He did not go to the breaking ball to start Lastings Millage off. So far, Marshall has gone 4 1/3, 6 hits, 6 runs, every single one of them earned. He's walked 4 and struck out 3. Millage looks at ball 2. 2 balls, no strike to the Stormers' left fielder. Kicks and delivers, goes to the breaking ball. Rodriguez wanted it, but Caldwell's not buying it. Ball 3. So after 3 pitches and 3 strikes to Garrett Weber, he's gone 3-0 to Lastings Millage. And we'll see strike 1. Three balls and 1 strike now. This one will miss just inside. We've seen a very consistent strike zone out of Nate Caldwell when it comes to that inside pitch. He's not budging on it. So another walk for Millage, his 2nd one drawn up in this game. He'll remain 1 for 1 with 2 walks. See if the Stormers can take advantage of the free passes, as that's the 5th walk issued by Brett Marshall thus far. Still, not a lot of action in the Skeeters bullpen. First pitch is a curveball in the dirt that Clark swings right through. Looks like Manny Corpus might be at least stretching out there. Not tossing the ball, but at least stretching. Tremendous crowd right now on hand for the Stormers, as at least to the left side you can see very few green seats available, except for the furthest section. A pickoff throw will be all for naught. Just keeping an eye on Lastings Millage. I'm not sure if his legs are quite fresh enough to employ the idea of a stolen base opportunity or attempt. Gets an aggressive lead nonetheless. Clark gets into one, and all the Skeeters outfield can do is look up and watch it sail away. Tyler Clark has punched his ticket, and this one has punched its ticket out of here. Stormers putting up a 2-spot in the bottom of the 5th inning. Tyler Clark connects on his first of the season. A mistake pitch by Brett Marshall as he leaves this one middle in, and Clark turns on it and launches it. What a shot by Tyler Clark. Stormers now up 8-0 on 7 hits. Here comes Josh Bell. Bell will be started with a curveball in the dirt. Bell looks at one, right back to that outside pitch. Just missing the corner as Caldwell stays firm on his call. What a drive by Tyler Clark. He is about due for his first home run of the season and his first home run here in Lancaster. Now to Josh Bell. Bell looks at one right down the gut. Count is now 3 balls and 1 strike. The wind is picking up out in center field. Bell looks at strike 2. I could have seen him taking that one for a ride. Nonetheless, the count will be at 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's full to Josh Bell. Bell looks at a curveball in there for strike 3 as he swings and misses. 2 outs now for the Barnstormers. Leadoff man Bo Amaral will be up. He currently is 0 for 3. He grounded out to the pitcher covering first. He struck out in the second. And he also struck out with the 2-3 put out in the 3rd inning. So in the 4th, he actually didn't get to bat. He didn't get to bat in 4 consecutive innings. So he comes to bat here in the 5th inning. He fouls one off. Another breaking ball to start things off. Brett Marshall is well over 100 pitches now. He's around 114. He delivers another one. That'll be fouled off now to the left side. Amaral will bat with no balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the inning. A changeup, a very slow changeup from Marshall will be fouled off. 3 consecutive foul balls from Amaral. Continues to bat, no balls and 2 strikes. Stormers putting up 8 in the first 5 innings. Amaral will slice this one over and will get just by the shortstop. That'll be just out of the reach. And he will be credited with a base knock. Yeah, Giansani was just not able to get over there and grab it. So a 2-out single by Bo Amaral. And here comes Trayvon Robinson. Robinson right now in this game, he's 0 for 2. He walked in the first, a fielder's choice, and then he flew out to left. Amaral had a double yesterday. He's got a single today, so he continues to put together very good hitting. First one will be chopped up the line. Brett Marshall get it, underhand toss to first, but the damage is done nonetheless. Barnstormers put up 2 runs on the home run of Tyler Clark, his first of the season, and a first in the Barnstormers uniform on 2 base hits, no errors, so clean defense from the Skeeters in that one, and they will leave 1 runner, Bo Amaral, on base. Dave will be back in the booth for the 6th inning of work. We'll talk to you in a little after these messages.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Not only does the Federal Tap House have the largest selection of craft draft beers in Lancaster City, they have amazing food to go along with those elite beers. Open every day for both lunch and dinner, their menu has something for everyone, including a special lunch menu available every Monday through Friday, as well as their normal menu. So when you're in the mood for great wood-fried pizzas, handcraft coal-fired burgers, or our all-inspiring duck fat fries, head over to the Federal Tap House. That's the Federal Tap House, 201 North Queen Street in downtown Lancaster, open by 11:30 every day of the week.
Barnstormers extend the lead on James Murray's watch. Dave Collins back with you in the 6th inning. It's 8-0 for Tommy Shirley, his battery mate, stretching the lead out. It was evident to me, and it has been for a while, that eventually Tyler Clark would hit a home run left-handed, and I'm glad it's finally out of the way. And it was no cheap one. That ball hit the back ad wall.
That was a heck of a shot by Tyler Clark. It was bound to happen soon enough. Tremendous pitch recognition right over the middle in and just struck gorgeous swing, too.
Cole Gillespie leading off the 6th inning against Tommy Shirley. Cole has one of the 2 hits for Sugar Land tonight, a double back in the 1st inning. He is 1 out of 2. Shirley to the plate and outside for a ball, 1-0. Tommy all of a sudden lost his command midway through the 5th inning. He got 2 outs in a row and then kept missing the plate. Now he is 1-0 on Gillespie. Shirley comes back, and that's ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. He eventually got Joe Benson on strikes to end the inning, but all of a sudden the economy of his work tonight has gone downhill. 2-0 on Gillespie. Shirley to the plate, ground ball toward the middle. There is Bell to the backhand, sets, throws, and cuts down Gillespie. 1 out. Josh Bell has really worked to get himself back in playing shape. Nobody will ever question JB's work ethic. He's got a great one, and that's part of the reason that Ross brought him in here as the ball club's hitting coach. But he has not just worked his butt off on that aspect. When he had the realization he was going to have to play from time to time, he has worked incredibly hard, and we're seeing the fruits of that here tonight. 1 out. Anthony Giansani steps in. Fastball good for a strike. It is 0-1. Shirley working with a lead of 8-0. Action in the bullpen for the Sugar Land Skeeters. Their right-hander, Brett Marshall, should be done for the night. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. And you got to tip your hat to Marshall on the front that he was at least able to eat 5 innings for his ball club tonight and keep the bullpen from coming in too early. Giansani batting 0-2. Here's the motion. Shirley to the plate and bounces it up there. Ball 1, 2 strikes, 1 out here into the 6th inning. Meanwhile, speaking of eating innings, Shirley has been able to do that for the Barnstormers, and you'd love to see Tommy get through at least 7 tonight and keep especially the back end of the bullpen out of the game. Those guys could use a night off. Here's the offering. Giansani goes for it, fouling it away to the right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I don't want to even think about having Anthony Carter listening up in the bullpen tonight.
No, me neither. I'm sure he doesn't even want to.
Yeah. Anthony needs to either stay on that bench down there or remain in the clubhouse for this one. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the pitch is high. 2-2 now on Giansani. Kevin Ahrens, the first baseman, due next. 3rd time through the batting order for Sugar Land against Shirley tonight. This just is not the same pitcher that they faced down in Texas. 2-2, and the offering lifted in foul ground. Over goes Clevenger, but he'll have no play. And the count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shirley's allowed 2 hits and 2 walks. He has struck out 3. Clark sets the target. And here's the 2-2. Ground ball, 3rd base. It comes up, and Halton comes up with it. Flip across the diamond, 2 outs. Shirley getting some nice glove work behind him tonight. But you know what we haven't seen? A defensive play for Garrett Weber at shortstop.
He's thinking the same thing, and he's like, it's going to happen real soon. And he's got to keep himself prepared.
This is like Rico Noel's first game at shortstop, where he had 1 pop-up, and that was it. We never saw him have to handle a ground ball in his first start. I believe it was against Somerset. Here is Ahrens. He has struck out and flied out. Shirley into the motion. First pitch is just off the outside corner. A ball, 1-0. Clark sets the target. Next pitch into the zone, 1-1. I cannot tell you how much Tyler Clark has improved behind the plate, but he has turned into a great receiver for this ball club. Initially, it didn't look like the pitchers were terribly comfortable working with him, and now they love working with him, just like they love working with Anderson De La Rosa.
Yeah, look who he's got to pick the brains of down there. Even when I'm down there, I really enjoy talking to him and listening to what he's had to say about him.
He's an intelligent man and a very good learner. 2-1, ground ball over to 3rd. Chest high hop. played by Halton. It's a 1-2-3 inning on ground balls. Halton kept very busy over at the third base position tonight. Nothing across in the top of the sixth. 5.5 log. Lancaster leads 8-0.
Enjoy great ballpark food at discount prices. The Lancaster Barnstormers offer numerous chances to enjoy your favorite ballpark foods this summer. On Sundays, Burke's hot dogs are only $1 all game long. Hess's Barbecue brings back the all-you-can-eat pig roast on Mondays and all-you-can-eat chicken and ribs on Tuesdays. Tuesdays are also Fill Your Tummy nights at the stadium where, for only $10, you can stuff yourselves with popcorn, hot dogs, fries, nachos, and soda. Upstairs, we have Pat's Pizza and Pinball Mondays and Fat Pig's Wing Wednesdays where you can pair food and beer with a Barnstormers game. Barnstormers baseball, make a night of it.
Silicon, microprocessors, and thousands of lines of code. Raw elements transformed into innovation by Lexus. For a limited time, experience advanced safety technology for yourself at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. But hurry, these offers won't last. Now through September 5th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
We go to the bottom half of the sixth inning. Sugarland has gone to its bullpen. I believe this is Trey Haley coming into the ball game here in the sixth. Brett Marshall goes 5 innings tonight, and he has certainly had better days. 8 hits, 8 runs allowed. He ended up walking 5 and striking out 4, giving up home runs to Cole Garner and Tyler Clark, and there was nothing cheap about either one. The Barnstormers looking to get Tommy Shirley his first win of the night, but he certainly has played his own role. 6 shutout innings. Tommy has been extremely sharp here tonight. And we talk about the job that Clark has done behind the plate. I remember his first start, he caught Rami Lewis against Somerset, and Somerset ran the battery into the ground. They stole 5 or 6 bases in the game. It just didn't look good, and that's the first time we saw Tyler in a regular season game. You see him now. He has learned to make much better throws to second base. You can't run on him very easily, and he just simply calls great games behind the plate, and anything you get out of him offensively is gravy. Now, we talked about De La Rosa, and we've talked about Clark, but Joe Gardner threw to Steve Clevenger 2 nights ago, and Joe is extremely complimentary of Clevenger's work behind the plate. So the Barnstormers are deep at that position. Now here's Cole Garner. He needs a triple for the cycle. He is facing Trey Haley. The first pitch is low. Ball 1 and no strikes. Haley from Nacogdoches, Texas. He is 27 years of age.
Yesterday, when we had heard from Gardner, he had absolutely delightful things to say about how he and Clevenger were on the page from the first pitch.
Swung on and missed. Garner batting at a ball and a strike. Haley into his 36th game. He is 1-1, and his earned run average 4.19. 36th appearance of the season. Right-hander ready to go. The motion, and Garner will take ball 2 down and away. 2 balls and a strike. Lancaster leading 8-0. The motion, Haley delivers. Garner with a fly ball to right. Over toward the line is Oliveira. And that ball, he missed it. It bounces off the wall.
It's foul.
It's foul. That's what it is.
He started to run toward it as if it was going to be fair.
And it's a foul ball.
Holy cow. There was
I feel like
triple
I'm
right there for Garner.
Yeah.
The cycle.
I feel like I'm in southern Maryland, not being able to see the right field corner. And Oliveira came in and toward the line. The next thing you know, the ball was ricocheting and back onto the field of play, but a foul ball.
If I'm the person who would have if Garner was picked for the cycle
instead of Halton
and that ball there and he's staring at third base, I'd have been pretty it'd be unnerving.
2-2 on Cole Garner.
Who gets a triple to right
Oh,
field?
that was bizarre. Well, the only way for it to happen is to completely bounce away the right field from the right fielder like that. Garner awaits the 2-2, the motion, and a breaking ball outside off the glove of Rodriguez. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And oddly, the 2 cycles in Barnstormers history, the triple has been the last thing to happen.
For Olmo and
Gabe Jacobo in Somerset. Olmo almost was in a blowout, and he hit a ball to right center field, and it hit one of the posts in the chain link fence out there and kicked sideways, and he just kept on going. Barnstormers were going to hold him up. Fouled away. Garner continues at 3-2 against Haley. Sean Halton and Steve Clevenger will follow. Haley working again to Garner at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the windup. The payoff pitch is lined up for it goes. Prince can't quite reach it, and Garner is 4 for 4.
Wow.
No cycle, but he still may get another chance. Leadoff man aboard in the 6th inning. Sean Halton stepping in at 0 for 3. Halton smoked a ground ball to the third baseman Cordero back in the 4th inning. The Barnstormers with their 9th hit of this game. Big night for Garner. Big night for Clark. Cole is not being held at first base, sort of a gentleman's agreement here, not to start runners with the 8-0 lead fairly late in the ball game. To Halton, foul ball back. Sean with a good-looking swing there, no balls and a strike. 8-0 lead, and Tommy Shirley looking like he's in total control of the night. A little bit of a hiccup with the control back in the 5th inning, and that's been about it. 0-1 to Halton. The offering high and inside. And now Haley taking his turn, having a pretty long inning. So unless disaster strikes here, the Barnstormers will once again win at least 2 games in a home series. That's been remarkable here this year. Halton swings, and he belts one out the left field. Benson with his back turned to home plate, watching, and it is gone. A home run for Sean Halton, make it 10-0. His hitting streak at 11, his RBI streak at 7. He has 21 home runs and 70 runs batted in now on the season.
Wheels are certainly coming off the bus right now for the Skeeters.
Lancaster leading by 10 with Clevenger coming in. The 3rd straight inning with a Barnstormer home run. Garner probably teasing Halton as they return to the dugout that he had him by about 15 feet.
Yeah.
First pitch is outside to Clevenger for a ball, 1-0. But
no cheap shots anywhere.
Yeah, anytime you hit balls onto the hillside out in left field, they're legit home runs. Those are real men homers out there. Ball 1, no strikes. And to Clevenger, a slicing fly ball foul down the left field line out onto the hill. It is 1-1. Now, the Barnstormers can be watching the York Revolution and getting somewhat frustrated that this lead is not growing in the Freedom Division, but put the shoe on the other foot. Clevenger takes ball 2 low, 2 balls and a strike. York is currently up 6-2 in the 7th inning. York ended up chasing the Barnstormers in the second half in 15. That was the year that the Barnstormers bullpen was the force in the Atlantic League in the second half. They hardly gave up anything. Lancaster ended up going 41-16 the last 57 games and just ran out of gas for the playoffs. 3-1 to Clevenger. The pitch to Steve, hard hit ground ball, but right at Kevin Aarons. He'll scoop it up and head to the bag. One out here in the 6th inning. Garrett Weber is hitless tonight. He will step in. You talk to Stan Clyburn, you talk to anybody who was with that Southern Maryland ball club back in 2015, they were stunned they beat the Barnstormers in that first round. They couldn't believe it. They thought they were dead in the water. They had a good first half, a lousy second half, and the Barnstormers just ran the table in that second half and just hit the playoffs and just went dead flat. Couldn't hit. The bullpen was not nearly as sharp. Ball one is inside and low to Weber. 1-0 to Garrett with the walking man, Lastings Millage, on deck. Offering is low. Weber bats 2 balls and no strikes. Somerset's up 1-0 over Southern Maryland. They're in the 5th inning. Long Island 8, Bridgeport 5 in the bottom of the 5th at Bethpage. Barnstormers need either York or Bridgeport to lose over the longer haul. Inside, Weber almost hit by that. 3-0. The reason I say that is just in case things go wrong. You'd like Somerset winning the second half in the Liberty division, and the Barnstormers are then in the race with Bridgeport for a wild card. Ball 4 is inside. Of course, we're 10 days away from at least the projected makeup game against Southern Maryland, weather permitting. I looked at the weather today, and there's this orange X off the coast of Africa. The timing would be almost good. End up being a tropical system, maybe come up the east, who knows. But we've got to get that game in on the 14th. Lastings Millage stands in 0 for 0 with 2 walks. He is drawn with 3 walks, 2 runs. Takes a strike here from Haley. No balls and a strike. The Barnstormers with the big 10-0 lead here in the bottom half of the 6th inning tonight. Ball game is long since official. We don't have to worry about a weather interruption. Millage taking a ball. It is 1-1. Cole Garner, Tyler Clark, and Sean Halton with home runs tonight. And we're not talking a little flare up onto the deck in any one of those cases.
I know they haven't gone through bullpen, but we might be seeing Nessie on the other side of his battery down there in the bullpen if this keeps up.
Breaking ball 1 and 2. I was talking to Stan about that during the last series. He has never used a position player to pitch, and he says he never will. One and 2 due to Lastings Millage. Weber, the base runner, again not being held in a 10-0 game. Millage with a line drive down the left side, foul. May have broken his bat on that. He's checking. Yep, it's a goner.
He'll never use a person to pitch. That's a hitter.
Butch wouldn't either.
Did he not see what Phelan Lentini did to us? Looked like he was a pitcher.
He's thinking Jose Canseco. And the disaster that was. Millage comes back with a new bat. Butch wouldn't go to it either. He did use pitchers to bat and pinch run.
That was before.
Caleb Gindel pitched, but that was the last game of the season last year. And Caleb actually thought about trying to make the conversion this year, and probably a good thing that he didn't.
I'm glad he didn't.
He was picked up by the Giants. That's a swinging third strike for Millage. He goes down against Haley, and here comes Tyler Clark, who has a single and a home run tonight, and a ball whacked back off of Marshall. 2 out of 3 for Tyler here this evening. I'm glad Tyler got that home run.
Me too. It was bound to happen, and I'm glad it was home.
This guy's pretty dangerous left-handed. Weber, the base runner. 2 outs in the inning. Haley to the plate, and Clark takes a breaking ball in there, strike one. Well, the Barnstormers, by my count now, in 5 2/3 innings, have seen 143 pitches.
Any thoughts of having Clark on the Gockenauer show to talk about it tomorrow?
Oh, we have not had him in a while.
Yeah.
That may work.
Might be due.
Fastball is down and away. 2 balls and a strike.
Should have given him the silent treatment down there.
Weber out to the lead, not going anywhere. Breaking ball again, and strike 2 to Tyler Clark. Josh Bell on deck. Big night for the Barnstormers at the plate. They have drawn 6 walks. They have 3 home runs, 2 doubles. Clark goes down swinging. It ends the 6th inning, but Lancaster comes up with 2 more. On 2 hits, Sean Halton keeps all his streaks going. No errors, 1 man left on base. We're done with 6, and the Barnstormers are up 10-0.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that would bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Hey Barnstormers fan, be in the know as soon as it happens. We have a number of social media options for you to stay in touch with everything Stormers. Know what Silo's up to, the latest player moves, game results, schedule changes, and be the first to get in on surprise flash deals. Or simply buy our tickets or ask us questions. So like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, watch us on YouTube, and be a part of the growing Barnstormers family on social media.
Just saw something for the first time tonight, a lightning flash out beyond the wall in left field. 10-0 our score, and James got ice cream.
I'll be content the rest of the time through.
Yeah, I'm okay for tonight. I don't need it.
So
every
if
once in a
someone
while,
gave it to you,
it's a nice treat.
Try it.
I could use it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't turn it down.
I believe that.
Not expecting the thunderstorms to get here for a while anyway. 10 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Barnstormers, and they have left 7. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for Sugarland, with 4 runners left on base. Wilfredo Rodriguez had the second of the 2 base hits against Tommy Shirley. That was leading off the 2nd inning. So Shirley effectively has thrown 5 no-hit innings since that base hit, and he delivers a strike here. It is 0-1.
I hope he just stays on cruise control.
We'd like to see it for a number of reasons. Stay ahead of the weather, get the fireworks in here tonight, keep the bullpen out of the game. Ground ball on the right side. Knocked down by Bell, picks it back up. He's got time and throws him out. That's not Bell. That is actually the new infielder, Brian Hoover, has taken over for Josh Bell. And what a great time to get Hoover in there at second base. I thought that looked too small to be Josh.
Yeah.
4-3. Brian Hoover is playing his first professional game. He is 40 years old. He came here for a tryout camp back in April and he knew Ross beforehand. And it's an amazing story. Line drive, Hoover not tall enough to get that. It's rolling all the way to the wall, out in right center field for Cordero. It'll be fired back in, but not keep Cordero from second base with a double. A runner in scoring position.
What a
And
highlight.
with one out, Oliveira will come in. Yeah. Hoover is 5'9". He is a switch hitter. We'll get to see him bat leading off the bottom half of the seventh inning. He is a pastor. I don't believe he currently has a church, but he has been a pastor for 5 years. He is a worship leader, and I've had a chance to sit and talk to Brian. He is a wonderful guy, getting the opportunity to pursue the dream of a lifetime, and I've heard he actually has a lot of ability. Bouncing ball right side, chasing it down is Shirley, and he overruns the ball. Runners will be safe at first and third. Oliveira aboard on an infield base hit, and the biggest threat of the night is built for the Sugarland Skeeters. Cordero goes to third, Oliveira to first. Shirley racing after the ball and tried to dig it up and scoop it over to first baseman Steve Clevenger, and Tommy on the move didn't get all the way down. He is 6'5", which makes it a tougher play.
I think for him, anyways, he would have had to have gloved it and beaten him out to the bag, not even tried to glove flip it.
That's first and third. Here is Derek Miller, who has grounded out and walked.
Talk about two big gentlemen going into first base.
Fastball for a strike. It is 0-1 on Miller. Everybody first pitch swinging up until Miller here in this inning. Now Brian Hoover getting the opportunity to play second base. I don't know how long he'll be here. Maybe the rest of the season. Breaking ball is inside. Ball one, strike one. He was a very good high school player in Georgia and just got into the ministry, gave up the dream. There goes Oliveira. The pitch is low, and Clark will just bluff the second base. That's defensive indifference, but they'll stay out of the double play. 2 balls and 1 strike to Miller. And a chance for Sugarland to break up the shutout here in the 7th inning. It is one of many great stories we have on this Barnstormers ball club right now. Fastball is high, 3-1. And I know it's been on Facebook, but we're about to announce something very special here Labor Day weekend with our Faith on the Field program. I have a very special guest coming in, a story that is worth repeating everywhere. Fastball for a second strike, 3-2. Made it maybe the greatest story of a redemption of a disgraced professional athlete there has ever been or there will ever be. Here's the payoff. It's upstairs, and the bases are loaded for Josh Prince. Third walk given up by Shirley, who just cannot procure the second out here in the 7th inning. We're going to have a mound visit from Scott Patterson here. They'll check in with Shirley and with Clark to see how he's feeling at this point. Bases loaded with 1 out. Josh Prince stepping in. He has grounded out and walked. The mound conference has gone on long enough, says Nate Caldwell. And he and Scott Patterson seem to have a lighthearted chit-chat as Patterson heads back to the dugout.
Horse everywhere.
Scott's always willing to engage almost anybody in conversation. Oh, yeah. He is one outgoing fellow. 1 out, bases full. Shirley facing Josh Prince. Tommy to the plate, and it's grounded on the left side, but it's going to bleed through for a base hit. The shutout is gone. Cordero scores. Good throw in from Lastings Millich. And Oliveira wasn't going to try it. It's an RBI base hit, and now a 10-1 ball game.
Thank God that happened tonight and not yesterday, with Prince up in the same situation.
With the bases loaded, yeah.
Yes, pinch hitting for Dickie Thon.
Joe Benson will bat with the bases full here, and still only one out. And here comes Ross. That's going to be it for Shirley. Outside of the double by Cordero, nothing's been hit hard here. Just Tommy unable to get the second out here in the 7th inning. The Barnstormers are going to make the pitching change and go to the bullpen for the first time tonight. Wonderful effort for Tommy Shirley, but the 7th inning becomes a problem. He will depart. The Barnstormers will bring, it looks like, R.J. Hively into the ball game, and while we have the change, we're going to take a break and pause for these messages.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Silicon, microprocessors, and thousands of lines of code. Raw elements transformed into innovation by Lexus. For a limited time, experience advanced safety technology for yourself at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. But hurry, these offers won't last. Now through September 5th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Bases still loaded, only one out in the top of the 7th inning. R.J. Hively taking over for Tommy Shirley, who just seemed to run out of steam, but pitching his 3rd very strong ball game in a row. So Hively into action now, trying to limit the damage here in the 7th inning. The Barnstormers still with a very good size lead at 10-1. Top of the order, Joe Benson stepping in against Hively. RJ in his 37th game. He's 4-0 with a .405 earned run average. At 3rd is Oliveira. At 2nd, Miller, and Prince occupies 1st. Hively, a guy who can come in and get a double play ball very quickly. He also can record a lot of strikeouts. He has fanned 53 in 40 innings, giving up 39 hits and 12 walks. So you just don't want to ruin Tommy Shirley's night. One out, bases loaded, Benson at the plate. He has flied out, popped out, and struck out against Shirley. Tommy ended up walking 3 and striking out 3, giving up 5 base hits and just the 1 run. Hively into the motion to Benson. That is a foul ball at the plate, but barehanded on the one hop by Tyler Clark.
Like a cat.
And he was ready to think that was a fair ball, stepped on home and go to first.
Wow. Talk about getting out of an inning.
0-1 on Joe Benson. Three hits and a walk among the last 4 batters against Shirley. Here's the 0-1. It's low, a ball and a strike. A seeing eye base hit and that dribbler up the first baseline, where Shirley went after it. Clevenger started after it. Nobody was going to be able to make that play against Oliveira. 1 ball and 1 strike the count on Benson. Hively, the right-hander from Palm Desert, California, ready to go. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss at a breaking ball. Hively works ahead 1-2. Cole Gillespie, the center fielder, waits on deck. Whether or not Shirley gets his 2nd straight quality start now depends on how well Hively does. 1-2 the count to Benson. RJ ready to go. Here's the pitch. Did he go too far? Yes, he did.
Absolutely.
Derek Moshe rings him up. Benson is gone on strikes. Ively picks up the second out of the inning, and now Gillespie will come in. Cole is 1 for 3, doubled past third base in the first inning, has grounded out twice to second base since then.
Benson very discontent with that, and he told it was blatant that he was swung through it, and Moshe was all over it.
Gillespie trying to save the inning for the Sugarland Skeeters. They have one on the board to break up the shutout. 2 outs, bases loaded. Ively, full wind, goes to work, and that's fouled at the plate, and Gillespie got himself in the foot. No balls and a strike. Tough hitter to get through. Sugarland has had to play this series so far without Travis Scott. We mentioned it last night. Travis has had a family emergency that he's had to tend to, so they thought he was going to get back today. It turned out not to happen. We wish Travis and his family the best. A guy who is just one of those keystone players around whom this league is built. Now the hitting coach for the Skeeters as well. 0-1 to Cole Gillespie. Ively will deliver. That is cut on and missed. It's 0-2. I mean, for other circumstances like Scott taking some time off, just we don't miss him here as far as having to face him in this ballpark. But the circumstances are not great, and we wish Travis the best. No balls, 2 strikes to Cole Gillespie. Ively comes back, and that ball is wrapped into left field, a base hit. 1 run will score. Millage's throw is well offline, as crossing the plate also is Derek Miller, and now it is a 10-3 ball game. Holding on at second is Prince. Gillespie coming up with a 2-run single on the 2-strike pitch. Tommy Shirley looking at a night where his ERA was going to be greatly helped on the season, but now this is a 3-run inning, and Anthony Giansani will try and add to it for Sugarland. Two outs, 2 on. Prince at second. Gillespie the runner at first. Giansani is 0 for 3 tonight. Ively will go to work. That pitch, strike to the inside corner. It is 0-1. He snapped the breaking ball back. It's not Giansani, it's Dickie Thon up there. Ively comes back. That's bounced towards shortstop. Waiting back on it, Weber. He'll go to Hoover. And the force play ends the inning. Productive for Sugarland. 3 runs on 4 hits with no errors. 2 men are left on base. Shirley will get the quality start here tonight. And we are going to head to the bottom of the 7th. It's 10-3 Lancaster.
Gockenauer Appliances in East Petersburg is your hometown appliance store with hometown values. We always give back to our community, and this year we are proud to be a sponsor of the East Petersburg Amphitheater Project. Stop in and purchase from us and keep your money here, helping others in your community. We are back again this season with a $25,000 giveaway at the stadium, and you can stop in and register for a Barnstormers game jersey. We want to be your appliance store and give back to all of you. Gockenauer Appliances in East Petersburg.
Hey, Jane, check it out. 2 brand new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery.
Yeah, you just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
And with Payday, you could win progressive top prizes instantly.
Instantly? That's fast.
Not faster than me drinking this frozen slush.
You okay?
Ouch. Headache.
Oh.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Left-hander Dustin Richardson on in relief for the Sugar Land Skeeters. It's his 41st appearance of the year. He has made one very short start for the Skeeters. Richardson 1-4 with 4 saves, and his ERA has taken a jump, 5.40. I remember earlier in the year, this guy just dominated the Barnstormers out of the bullpen for Sugar Land, and that it all changed on one flick of the bat by Casey Hobson, putting a ball up onto the deck for a grand slam here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Richardson has had a difficult time since. The left-hander from Newton, Kansas, 33 years of age. Big, tall, lean guy at 6'6" and 220 pounds. And Brian Hoover will get his first professional at bat against him. Hoover, the father of 3 girls, from the state of Georgia, and again, he is an ordained minister. He has pastored a church. He is a worship leader, and a very, very engaging fellow. He's an easy guy to get to know. But this is quite a story developing, giving him a chance to pursue a dream as the Barnstormers pursue a middle infielder. First pro at bat for Hoover. He's taken over for Josh Bell at second base, and Richardson misses inside, ball 1. Well, you don't know if on Brian's part that's a good eye on that pitch, or just
did he even see it?
Nerves and just frozen in paralysis. But it's ball 1, no strikes. He's a switch hitter, batting right-handed. Richardson into the motion. Next pitch to Hoover, taken for a strike. It is 1-1. Bo Amaral and Trayvon Robinson will follow here in the 7th inning. You can find Brian's story online. 1 ball, 1 strike to him. Richardson peering in, getting the sign from Rodriguez. There's a ground ball toward the middle. Over for it goes Giansani, and he'll fire on for the out, 1 away. Sugar Land has made some changes. Thon at shortstop. And Caleb Ramsey goes in at first base. Bo Amaral to the plate. He is 1 for 4 tonight.
Nothing wrong with that bit of hitting from Hoover.
I'll take
ground
it.
Ball up the
he
middle.
Certainly didn't embarrass himself.
Heck no. He's right on. He just missed a base hit.
Thon over to make the play. Well, there's 1 out. Amaral stepping in. 10-3 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Lancaster in the lead. To Amaral, a 3/4 slant from Richardson across for a strike. It is 0-1.
Different seeing age 40 on the screen. That wasn't Lou Ford or Phelan Lentini. Am I missing anybody?
Those are the two that those are the two that come to my mind.
Right.
Lentini turns 40 next week.
I think Eric Gagne.
Outside. Amaral batting at 1-1. That first line of Storms is going to our north, so we're good for quite a while. And how often that happens. Harrisburg once again getting pelted. Breaking ball across, make it 1-2 on Amaral. How do they ever play on City Island? They do, but I have seen some of the worst thunderstorms of my life.
Oh, yeah.
While working in that ballpark. In the old metal stadium. That was terrifying.
Been there.
Amaral batting 1-2. Richardson has the signal. Here's the pitch, and Amaral swings and misses. He's gone on strikes for the 3rd time in the game. Total of 6 strikeouts now for Sugar Land pitching. Trayvon Robinson will flip around and bat right-handed. Trayvon is hitless tonight. Ramsey, Rodriguez, and Cordero will be scheduled in the top of the 8th inning. Ball clubs using the bench in what is to some extent a one-sided game, but not as much as it once was. Robinson takes a strike at his 0-1.
John Anderson warming up for the Stormers.
Lancaster's only out hit Sugarland 10-6. Richardson to Robinson. That ball is belted out the right field fairly deep, and Oliveira's going to have to play that off the wall. Trayvon is digging for two. He's going to slide in needlessly head first with a double, and Cole Garner steps in. Do they even pitch to him here? Garner is 4 for 4 tonight. 2 singles, a double, a home run. He has scored 3 and knocked in 2.
And I'm sure he's going for the triple, full bore in this one. So the last time they hit for the Omo hit for the cycle was a blowout. Right now it's similar to that.
Yeah, it was also true the night in Somerset in 14 when Gabe Jacobo did it. But he had a ball high off the center field wall that bounced halfway back to the infield. And
it's Rando tomorrow.
An easy triple, actually. Richardson will go to work on Garner, who fouls it away for strike 1.
Wrong way, Garner. It's got to go left. Left center.
Garner, 4 out of 4. Started the night batting .260 and now is at .299. Robinson at second with 2 away. The pitch off the inside corner. Ball 1, strike 1. Garner is protected by Halton, and now Halton by Clevenger. So this lineup has been rebuilt when you think of where it was right around the All-Star break. Amaral's been good in the leadoff spot. Richardson to Garner, a ball and a strike. Line drive into right field, a base hit. And they will hold Trayvon Robinson at third.
5 for 5.
Sean Halton coming to the plate. Cole Garner with a 5-hit game. Those don't come along too often. Garrett Weber had one earlier this year.
Ever had a 6 for 6?
We had a 6 for 7.
6 for 7.
Adam Godwin in August of 2012 against the Long Island Ducks. And Dan Lyons made a spectacular play to keep him from going 7 for 7. Ball hit up the middle with the speedy Godwin. Lyons with a diving stop in shallow center got up and threw him out. First and third, and to Halton, it's popped up. This should stay in play. Wilfredo Rodriguez calling for it, and he'll grab it. That'll end the 7th inning, and it's no runs, 2 more hits for the Barnstormers. With 2 runners left on base, we're going to the 8th in a 10-3 ball game.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with the Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 306 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350, IS all-wheel drive, and IS Turbo. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy baseball and music this summer at Clipper Magazine Stadium. No matter what your taste in music might be, we have a night for you. Rock, oldies, country, funk, jazz. We have it all covered over 8 weekend nights this season. Each of those evenings will kick off with a Barnstormers game at 6:30. Following the baseball action, music will take the spotlight to complete our entertainment doubleheader. Check your Lancaster Barnstormers pocket schedule or our website at www.lancasterbarnstormers.com to check out the concert dates. Barnstormers Baseball. Make a night of it.
Anderson takes over in the 8th inning. R.J. Hively, 2/3 of an inning, gives up a base hit and strikes out 1. Caleb Ramsey, Wilfredo Rodriguez, and Albert Cordero scheduled against Anderson. Barnstormers still up 10-3. They declined to score an 11th run. They were being very polite. Russ, we had that 11th run available. I think that Trayvon Robinson would have scored easily on the Cole Garner base hit, and the Barnstormers opted not to send the runner.
Yeah, Oliveira was still pretty darn deep when he had possession of the ball. I'm surprised they didn't run him through, but...
And it's just being polite.
Yes, no mercy killing like that. You don't keep running the team down.
So here is Caleb Ramsey leading off the 8th inning. Anderson, left-hander at 6'2", 39th ball game, 1-1 with a 3.86 ERA. He walks and strikes out a lot of people. To Ramsey, first pitch is very high, ball 1, no strikes. He has walked 29 and struck out 42 in 37 1/3 innings. Very tough to hit is John Anderson. Here's the 1-ball pitch, but Ramsey hits him pretty well, deep to right center field. Way back it goes, and that is off the fence. Ramsey will settle at second base with a leadoff double here in the 8th inning. Wilfredo Rodriguez coming to the plate. Well, this game's taken a pretty nasty turn.
Didn't see it forthcoming at all.
And again, you don't want to have to even think about using the back end of the bullpen tonight.
They need their rest. Everyone else has to make up for it.
Leadoff man at second here is Rodriguez. 1 for 3 on the night. Ramsey nearly getting a ball out of the ballpark. Third double of the ball game for Sugarland. And now to Rodriguez. It's fouled off for strike 1. Ramsey had been sitting against the left-handed starter Tommy Shirley, and they put him in for Kevin Aarons. With the Barnstormers having a right-hander on the mound at the time, Lancaster counters with the lefty, and Ramsey still comes through with the double. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Rodriguez swinging over the top. It's 0-2.
That's a hefty swing for the lead. It's not like a 2-run homer ties the ball game. I hope I don't have to see that. The potential of one.
They're just trying to build another significant inning and get back in the ball game and maybe force the Barnstormers to use their back-end guys. 0-2. Anderson glancing around, and to Rodriguez, line drive, and Hoover goes up to make the catch. 1 out here in the 8th inning. Didn't look like a 40-year-old on that play. And for age 40, Brian Hoover doesn't have a dad bod. 1 out. And here is Albert Cordero, the third baseman, who's 1 for 3 with a run scored. Cordero got the 3-run 7th inning underway with a double. Slapped into the gap in right center field. Anderson will deliver. That's fouled at the plate, 0-1. Barnstormers need 5 more outs tonight, leading by 7. They'll have to get 8 men to the plate in the 8th inning to give Cole Garner another chance.
Gee.
Cordero batting down a strike. Switch hitter batting right-handed. Anderson checking back to second. And now he'll deliver the 0-1 pitch. That's fouled off down the right field line. Ahead of Cordero, 1-2. Hector Oliveira waiting on deck. Barnstormers get to game 3 of the series tomorrow. Bobby Blevins against Jarrett Leverett. Teammates a year ago with the Long Island Ducks, at least the last 3 weeks of the season. Blevins has bounced back this year from a really dreadful 16. 0-2 to Cordero. Anderson fires high, ball 1. Blevins this go around 4-6, but 2-12 last year. Veteran Atlantic leaguer from the Syracuse, New York area. 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Cordero with a runner at second and 1 out. John Anderson into his motion. The pitch is elevated towards center field. Bo Amaral patrolling out there with an easy play, 2 outs. And Oliveira will try to get a run home. Reached on an infield single back in the 7th inning. That little dribbler up the first baseline was really the glue to the inning. If that doesn't happen, Tommy Shirley very possibly gets out of that inning with really no damage. Now, as it turned out, if they make that play, ultimately a run scores.
That's right.
Last inning.
I'm glad he was able to keep his quality start because he'd been pitching that way all throughout.
He pitched a brilliant game for 6.
Couple small ruts, and that was it.
Ground ball, shortstop. Backhanded stop, Weber. He'll bounce the throw and snapped up by Clevenger. Nice play on the back end of that one. It could have easily gotten away. Clevenger continues to impress with his glove work over at first. No runs following the leadoff double. 1 man left on base. Bottom of the 8th inning coming up. It is 10-3 Lancaster.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com, too. And you can get them right on your phone, thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Julio DePaula into the game now for the Sugarland Skeeters. DePaula, like Manny Corpus, whom we saw last night, coming over from York to Sugarland over the course of the season in his 33rd game total, 0-1 with a 5.28 earned run average. The Corpus wears number 30, DePaula wears number 39. And when the Skeeters are in their black jerseys, those two numbers can be tough to tell apart. That this is DePaula. Different windup, I can tell from last night, and Corpus has some like mini dreadlocks.
Not to mention the curveballs, the sliders they both throw, different snaps to them.
Clevenger, Weber, and Millage scheduled in the bottom of the 8th for the Barnstormers, who are up by 7. Steve Clevenger, 1 out of 3 with a 2-run double the other way back in the 2nd inning. Steve taking a fastball for a strike at the knees, 0-1. Julio DePaula from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. He is 34 years of age, 6'1" and 210 pounds. Pitch misses for a ball, 1-1. There's the line by the right-hander. He deals low. Clevenger works the count in his favor at 2 balls and a strike. Ball 3 is low. And 3-1. I'm actually, this last radar I had, I'm actually seeing purple in a couple of spots, and I think that is indicative maybe of hail. Ground ball, second base, backhanded pickup, made by Prince. Clevenger retired 4-3.
For what reason are you seeing purple?
I think that's a hail core.
A what?
A hail core.
Oh.
On some
We
radar
see flashing
screens.
lights. We see purple.
Oh, this is legit purple on the radar.
Okay.
One out. Here is Garrett Weber, 0 for 3 with a walk. DePaula will bring it home, and that's grounded to second base, taking some tricky hops, but Prince sticks with it. 2 outs. Lastings Millage will step in. He has walked 3 times and struck out once.
Now batting the left fielder, Lastings Millage.
From what I can see, it might be Anderson going out there for the 9th, but they do have a righty warming up.
Miller, Prince, and Benson are scheduled. Might see perhaps Munson, perhaps Downing.
Munson's warming up now. Oh, pardon me. No, Downing is.
From this perch, I can't see down there.
Exactly.
It's like working in Southern Maryland. I can't see right field. I have to lean over. First pitch strike, 0-1. The count on Millage. 51-25, the crowd here tonight. Breaking ball is low. 1-1. Millage checks, ball 2 misses. DePaula comes back, and Millage gets closer to a 4-walk night. Wow. He's Jack Williams all by himself, potentially.
Either spokesperson of the week.
Ha Tires, spokes. I get it. 3-1, and he gets his 4th walk of the game. 7 given up by Sugarland pitching.
Too much.
You're my wheel man.
Oh.
What can I say?
Glad I'm not a 3rd wheel or a 4th wheel for walks.
Clark digs in and takes a breaking ball in for a strike. Tyler 2 for 4, hit his first home run of the season back in the 5th inning. Millage, the base runner, and Ramsey's holding him here. So to Clark, it's knocked foul the other way. Just hits the rooftop of the stadium on the far third base side. 0-2. Josh Bell coaching over at third. I think that's Jarrett Leverett at first base in the jacket and the helmet there. Low. And we go to 1-2 on Clark. To 3. Lancaster in charge. Fastball up and away. Clark bats 2-2. On deck is Brian Hoover. And I'm sure he'd like to get another chance here tonight.
Yeah. No doubt.
He's faced one guy with big league time and could see another. Clark's got to keep the inning going. 2-2, and he won't. Swing and a miss. No runs, no hits, no errors. Lancaster leaves a man. We're on our way to the 9th inning. The Barnstormers are up 10-3. Enjoy great ballpark food at discount prices. The Lancaster Barnstormers offer numerous chances to enjoy your favorite ballpark foods this summer. On Sundays, Burke's hot dogs are only $1 all game long. Hess's Barbecue brings back the all-you-can-eat pig roast on Mondays and all-you-can-eat chicken and ribs on Tuesdays. Tuesdays are also Fill Your Tummy nights at the stadium, where for only $10, you can stuff yourselves with popcorn, hot dogs, fries, nachos, and soda. Upstairs, we have Pat's Pizza and Pinball Mondays and Fat Pig's Wing Wednesdays, where you can pair food and beer with a Barnstormers game. Barnstormers baseball, make a night of it.
Silicon, microprocessors, and thousands of lines of code. Raw elements transformed into innovation by Lexus. For a limited time, experience advanced safety technology for yourself at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. But hurry, these offers won't last. Now through September 5th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Kaohe Downing takes over for the ninth inning. Downing into his 40th game, 2-0 with a save and a 2.95 ERA. A stocky right-hander from Honolulu. Went to college in San Diego as an outfielder. He's another one of the interesting stories of the year. That's about the 11 guys that have been signed, many of them ex-major leaguers who could be on their way back. And we've also had players in here like Darian Sanford who really have not had a wealth of experience, and they have performed admirably as well. Sanford going to a major league organization for the first time in 6 years. Vladimir Frias for the first time in 4 years. Yep. So how do you explain that except working with this coaching staff and this ball club? As great of a job as Josh Bell has done, you could give a lot of the credit for Sanford to Lastings Millage.
And probably Trayvon as well.
And the relationship they built, it was especially Millage. He and Sanford bonded pretty much day one. And it's one of those relationships, it's warmed my heart. It really has. Here is Derek Miller leading off against Kaohe Downing. Miller has walked twice tonight and scored once. Downing ready to go. Fastball is inside. Ball 1-0. His job is to get 3 outs and get them pretty expeditiously here. Ball 1, no strikes. The count on Miller. Anderson worked the scoreless 8th inning after the leadoff double. Downing is inside for ball 2, and now 2-0. Lancaster scored 10 runs over the first 6 innings of this game. Sugar Land came back with a 3 spot in the 7th. Lancaster just trying to finish it off with no drama. 2-0 to Miller. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 1 strike. Downing has good velocity and very good late movement. 29 hits allowed in 42 2/3 innings. Opposing teams batting just 191 against him for the year. To Miller, 2-1. In there, a second strike, make it 2-2. 24 walks allowed by Downing and 45 strikeouts in those 42 2/3 innings. 2-2, Downing ready to go. The motion and the pitch has popped up and should be handled. Clark out, Clevenger in. They bump, but Clark holds on, and hopefully everybody's okay. It wasn't a serious collision. There is 1 out in the inning. Like we said, hopefully no drama. Tyler Clark and Steve Clevenger are okay. They more or less spilled over one another. It wasn't a head-on, full-speed collision.
I'm glad that Clark didn't get his neck twisted, or at least I don't know, in the midst of going down into Clevenger.
1 out, and Prince stepping in. He is 1 for 2 with a walk. With Clevenger here and the job that Tyler Clark has been doing, the Barnstormers are able to rest Anderson De La Rosa more than they did in the first half, and that is not a bad thing. Kaohe Downing to Josh Prince, high for a ball, 1-0. De La Rosa has gotten pretty banged up back there, and I will never forget the image of him coming off the field, game 6 of 7 in a row that week at the end of the first half. 1 ball pitch, fouled away by Prince. It is 1-1.
Just the epitome of exhaustion.
1 ball and 1 strike to Prince. Joe Benson in the on-deck circle. Downing needs 2 more outs.
He even came out for that when I went down to help bullpen catch, and he was still just drained.
Breaking ball for a 2nd strike. It's 1-2, and then Anderson put his dad hat on.
Yeah.
He's got his 4-year-old with him. And Anderson's pride and joy.
Yeah, oh my.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
I doubt it.
I don't think so. 1-2 to Prince, fouled away. I cackle because my son is standing behind me. Younger of the two. One ball, 2 strikes. Defense is fanned out here. Downing ready to go. The motion and the pitch. He snapped that off, never had a chance to be near the zone. Prince bats 2-2. He's driven in his 40th run of the season. Prince is a guy who can hit 250 and be extremely valuable. And that's what he's done for Sugar Land. Down low, ball 3.
On Downing.
And I'm not so sure he's not the MVP of this ball club. Kevin Aarons has better numbers, but boy, Prince does so much with the stolen bases, his amazing defense. Draws a lot of walks.
Giansani would be up there too.
He would have been early.
Yeah, early,
Payoff
yes.
pitch. Prince gets a walk. Downing allows 1 to reach here in the 9th inning. Benson stepping in at 0 for 4. 2 outs still needed. Benson will come to the plate at 0 for 4. The lightning is flickering off in the distance. But that which will eventually come through Lancaster County, or at least the center of Lancaster County, not that northwestern tip, is still a ways away. Might get hit up around E-Town shortly. Good for a strike on Benson. Downing ahead 0-1. Lancaster 10, Sugar Land 3. 2 outs still needed. With a runner at first base. Prince is not being held. Clevenger is behind him. Downing back to work. The 0-1 bouncing away from Clark, and on to second on the wild pitch goes Prince. That's 2 or 3 now. Downing's breaking pitches that have simply ran away from him. 1 ball, 1 strike. The count on Benson. It appears the Barnstormers will need the win to stay ahead by 2. York is up 7-3 at New Britain. They have reached the bottom of the 9th inning.
Getting tired of seeing York in the lead so many times of late.
1 ball and 1 strike. Downing brings home a breaking ball. This is chopped first base side of the mound. Kaohi with the toss to first. Benson is retired. On to third goes Prince. He's there with 2 outs. And the batter will be Cole Gillespie, who's 2 for 4 and has knocked in 2 runs. Bridgeport and Long Island in a wild one, 10-10 in the 7th inning. Somerset 1-0 over Southern Maryland in the 8th. The Barnstormers will be perfectly fine if either of those teams wins.
Sure.
Or either of those teams wins, I should say. That doesn't make sense, but grammatically that's correct. 2 outs, runner at third. And Downing to Gillespie outside and low. Ball 1, no strikes. His slider is not under control right now.
Got to find another pitch to work.
Ball 1-0 to Gillespie. Downing deals the 1-0, and the fastball runs inside for ball 2. Dickie Thon is on deck. New Britain has scored in the ninth inning. That's 7-4. Here's a 2-0. Down and away, and getting away from Clark, but not far. 3 balls, no strikes to Gillespie, though. That is the bigger concern. Clark is out to have a chit-chat with Kaohi Downing. That will not be a timeout, says Nate Caldwell. Last night, a timeout was charged, and De La Rosa didn't even get together with Carter.
They didn't even get
in the
remotely
ninth
close to
inning.
the mound.
I wasn't even looking for it.
Ross either.
3 balls and nothing, and that is a strike, 3-1. Well, Ross was aware of it, but he still could go out and make the mound visit without changing pitchers, and that was the point of discussion. 3 balls, 1 strike, the count on Gillespie. Downing to the plate, and he gives up his second walk here in the ninth. Dickie Thon will be the batter, 0 for 1 on a force out, but 1 precious out still to procure.
Is it grand? Is it a grand? Grand slam, J.O.
2 outs, runners at the corners. First pitch here, knocked foul to the right. Thon trails by a strike at 0-1. New Britain does have the tying run at the plate.
And who would that be?
Jordan Hinshaw.
Oh, okay.
Stan's really scrambled his lineup from earlier in the week.
He's
Fastball is high. 1-1. He's got Skelton batting 9, Hinshaw batting first, Krause 2. Walton's in the cleanup spot. Kaji hitting 7th. Mike Lee back in action, made that start tonight and was wild.
Oh, boy.
Of course, he went to Brandon Fry. What's new?
60 appearances or something so far.
1-1. And the breaking ball swung on and missed by Thon. Downing has the Skeeters down to a final strike.
I was talking to Chris Nava, and he said last year Fry was used like 42 to some times, and now he's in like well over that mark.
He's been in 13 of the 17 games in our season series.
Oh, my.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Thon awaits, and Downing will back off for a second. New Britain has been guilty of 3 errors in the game. York only has 7 hits, but the Revs lead 7-4. One and 2, the count on Thon. Into the dirt. Good stop made by Tyler Clark. 2 balls and 2 strikes. In one sense, if Downing is going to have a night where he's going to be wild, this is not the worst one.
No.
But in another sense, you're 1 strike away from getting the team off the field and finishing things off tonight. You don't want to risk too much. Caleb Ramsey waits on deck.
You don't want to face him.
You don't want to
I don't want
face
to
him.
face Ramsey.
2 and 2. Downing to Thon. It's outside and low. And again, a runner moves ahead on defensive indifference. But more importantly, it's 3 and 2 on Thon. And if I'm Clark and Downing, I just abandon the breaking ball right now.
Oh, yeah. I just go right after him with fastballs because, if you end up walking the bases loaded, not something you want to see in this kind of mop-up.
Thon awaits the 3-2. 2 runners in scoring position. Downing to the plate. It's grounded on the right side. After it goes Hoover. He'll make the play and end the ball game. O'Brien Hoover shows he's flawless defensively. He went a ways toward his left to gobble that one up. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men stranded. Downing did just that. He went after Dickie Thon. He ends the ball game. The Barnstormers are now 4-1 on the current homestand, and they're 16-5 since the All-Star break. We'll be back with the line totals in just a moment The final score tonight, Lancaster 10 and Sugar Land 3.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Enjoy baseball and music this summer at Clipper Magazine Stadium. No matter what your taste in music might be, we have a night for you. Rock, oldies, country, funk, jazz, we have it all covered over 8 weekend nights this season. Each of those evenings will kick off with a Barnstormers game at 6:30. Following the baseball action, music will take the spotlight to complete our entertainment doubleheader. Check your Lancaster Barnstormers pocket schedule or our website at www.lancasterbarnstormers.com to check out the concert dates. Barnstormers Baseball. Make a night of it.
Well, welcome back from Clipper Magazine Stadium, where the Barnstormers pull out a 10-3 victory over the Sugar Land Skeeters tonight. So Lancaster now 4-1 on the current homestand. Still only once all year as this ball club failed to win 2 games in a series at home, and that was against the York Revolution going into the All-Star break when the Barnstormers had nothing left. Unfortunately, that was a second-half series, and it gives York the 2-1 lead in the series. So for the Barnstormers to get that tiebreaker, they'll have to win 4 out of 6 over in York in the waning weeks of the 2017 season. You hope it doesn't matter, but it's still the Barnstormers up by 2 over the York Revolution. Lancaster maybe getting a little frustrated at not being able to shake York, and York getting frustrated not being able to catch Lancaster as the 2 hottest clubs in the Atlantic League chasing each other in the Freedom Division. Tonight for the Barnstormers, 10 runs, 12 hits, no errors, and 10 left. Sugar Land, 3 runs on 7 hits with no errors and 9 runners left on base. Tommy Shirley with the win. The overall numbers for the night not looking that spectacular, but for the first 6 innings, Shirley was absolutely grand. He had a 2-hit shutout going into the 7th inning, and the big lead, it got away from him a bit in the 7th. There was one tough play in the infield that helped to set it all up. It's still a quality start, the 2nd in a row for Shirley, the 3rd really nice start in a row for Tommy Shirley, and he is certainly helping to bolster the Barnstormers starting rotation, picking up after a little bit of a gap the spot that Nate Reed left, and Nate was very hot when he went away. Shirley now 1-3 on the season. The loss goes to Brett Marshall. He is 6-7, no save here tonight. Barnstormers home runs by Cole Garner with the bases empty in the 4th, his 4th of the year. Tyler Clark with his 1st of the year. He had a teammate on, and so did Sean Halton in the 6th inning. He connected with a man aboard, his 21st home run of the season, extending his hitting streak to 11 and his RBI streak to 7. He has driven in now 16 runs in the last 9 games, leads the league with 70 runs banded in. 2 hours, 57 minutes, the time of our ball game tonight, 5,125 here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, now settling in and awaiting the fireworks show coming up here very shortly. Barnstormers win it by a score of 10-3. We'll look at the game more in depth when we come back here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
After you juggle the kids, sports, homework, housework, and squeeze in a moment for yourself, There isn't much time left to plan activities to keep your family having fun together. So give yourself a break and head to Strasburg Railroad, where the 45-minute steam train ride is just the beginning. There are family-friendly train events, vintage baseball, shop tours, a steampunk weekend, plus our popular Day Out with Thomas trains. The fun is as endless as your imagination. Reserve your tickets at strasburgrailroad.com.
The Federal Tap House is a great place to stop by after a Barnstormers game and continue your enjoyable evening in downtown Lancaster. Featuring 100 beers on tap, including many craft beers from here in Central PA, the Federal Tap House has something for everyone's palate, not to mention a full bar and elegant wine selection for the non-beer geeks in the group. For the entire lineup of brews, check online at federaltaphouse.com. That's at Federal Tap House, 201 North Queen Street, just blocks from Clipper Magazine Stadium, or at their other location in Harrisburg.
Well, the Barnstormers with the 10-3 win over the Sugarland Skeeters tonight. Lancaster was able to get to Brett Marshall, not in the first when they left the bases loaded, but in the second. A 5-run inning. It started with a walk to Lastings Millage, and Tyler Clark banged a single into right, and following that was Josh Bell with a single into right center field, driving in the first run of the game. As James pointed out, the bottom of the order was what built that inning. With runners at first and third and one out in the inning, Trayvon Robinson hit a slow chopper to third. Clark came steaming home, a close play at the plate, but he was ruled to be safe for the second run of the inning. Cole Garner then doubled over the head of third baseman Albert Cordero, driving in the third run after Sean Halton flied out to right. Steve Clevenger went the other way with a double past the third base bag. That drove in two more, capping the inning. The Barnstormers were up 5-0, and from there on out, it was the long ball. Cole Garner taking one 3/4 of the way up the hillside and left. His fourth of the season in the fourth inning. Then Tyler Clark hit the back ad signs in right center field in the fifth for his first home run. Sean Halton probably came up about 10 to 15 feet short of Garner's home run, but obviously anything hit the left field here is impressive. Halton with a man aboard in the sixth inning for a 10-0 lead. The only lapse in pitching from the Barnstormers tonight came in the seventh inning. Tommy Shirley had a 2-hit shutout going in, but with one out, Albert Cordero nailed a double into the alley in right center field. Then Hector Oliveira followed with a dribbler up the first base line. Shirley racing after that ground ball, overran it. Runners at first and third with one out. Oliveira took second on defensive indifference. Derek Miller walked to load the bases. Josh Prince singled in one, and after R.J. Hively took over, Cole Gillespie singled in two more. It was 10-3, and that is where we ended here tonight as the Barnstormers out-hit Sugarland 12-7. Lancaster is putting together a very good homestand now, 4-1 on the homestand, 16-5 since the All-Star break, and 19-9 here in the second half. The Barnstormers with the best overall record in the Atlantic League, a record of 57 wins and 40 losses. They're playing right now, I think, as well as any Barnstormers team has ever played, except for maybe a couple of runs back in 06 and that stretch drive in 2015. This Barnstormers team is turning into something special, but there is still no guarantee of a playoff spot for this ball club. They have to win it 10 days from tonight or go on and win the second half, or hope that Somerset can win both halves in the Liberty Division. So the Barnstormers just need to keep this momentum going. It is a wonderful drive this ball club is on right now. The overall record, 57 wins and 40 losses. James will be back with the out-of-town scores coming your way next on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Come on, everybody. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor.
Out-of-town scores coming your way. Starting off with the Atlantic League, you just saw this one. Finish up, finalize it, put it in the books. 10-3 Lancaster over the Sugar Land Skeeters. Going elsewhere, York down over in the New Britain Bees area of the town, neck of the woods. York is over them 7-4. That was just finalized. That was a 2-hour and 58-minute ball game. Top 7 in Long Island, the Bridgeport Bluefish and the Duckies are at 10 apiece. Over in Somerset now, the Patriots still lead the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. They are in the bottom of the 8th. Patriots are up to bat in that inning. Major League scoreboard will go as followed. Big turn of events in Baltimore as the Tigers jump out to a lead of 5-2 over the Orioles. Bullpen came into action after Kevin Gosman put together a sterling start. Justin Upton launches a grand slam to propel the Tigers to a 5-2 advantage. They are in the top of the 9th, Tigers back to bat. Bottom second in Pittsburgh, the Padres and Pirates are 0-0. They were delayed earlier in the game, earlier in this evening, I should say. Bottom 8, Yankees and the Indians. Indians 6-1 right now over the New York Yankees. Red Sox and White Sox deadlocked 2 apiece. Carlos Rodon putting the Red Sox in their place, so to speak. 7 innings of work, 11 punch-outs for himself. Dodgers continue their storybook season as they are over the Mets currently 6-0 as they just continue to win. Yu Darvish putting together one heck of a debut for himself. Brewers and Rays. Brewers leading 2-0 right now in the 8th inning. The Marlins and Braves. Braves are leading the Marlins by a score of 4-3. Rangers and Twins. The Minnesota Twins up 5-3 over Texas. They're only in the 5th inning. Astros and Blue Jays. Astros shelling the Blue Jays 12-2, and they're only ending the 4th inning as we speak. Royals and Mariners, 2 teams in the wild card hunt, tied 1 apiece. Jason Hamill throwing a good game for himself so far. The Phillies and Rockies. Rockies up 2-0 over Vincent Velasquez. Never fear, it's only the bottom of the 2nd inning. Finalized games in the Nationals and Cubs. Nationals won that one 4-2. Tanner Roark over Kyle Hendricks, and Sean Doolittle notching his 5th save as he joins the bullpen that had been ravaged for the Nationals. The Cardinals and Reds. The Reds end up coming back and winning 3-2 over the Cardinals. Asher Wojciechowski gets his 2nd win over Mike Leake, and Raziel Iglesias still pitching very well out of the bullpen. His 19th save notched. 2 games yet to start, but actually will start soon anyways. The Athletics and Angels and the Diamondbacks and Giants will be underway later in the evening on the West Coast. Dave, that's what's going on in both the Atlantic League, the rest of it that is, and all around the Major League scoreboard.
The Barnstormers have defeated the Sugar Land Skeeters tonight, 10-3 the final score. Star of the game, Cole Garner, 5 for 5 with a home run, a double, 3 singles. Missed the cycle by a ball going foul down the right field line. Looked like it bounced off the wall from our vantage point, but a foul ball. And Garner boosts his batting average from 260 to over 300 with the performance here this evening. 6 strong innings before the Tommy Shirley faded in the 7th. Pretty much all Barnstormers here this evening for the 10-3 victory, and also the debut of Brian Hoover, who is a very special story, and he certainly didn't embarrass himself out there this evening whatsoever. He handled 3 defensive plays flawlessly, and his 1 plate appearance hit the ball nicely toward the middle, and the shortstop, Thon, was over to make the play. But a nice start for Brian Hoover, living the dream as a second career in professional baseball. 10-3, Barnstormers over the Sugar Land Skeeters here tonight And tomorrow night, Game 3 of this series coming up on a fireworks Saturday at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Bobby Blevins, with a record of 4-6, is making the start for the Skeeters. He'll be going up against left-hander Jarrett Leverett, who will come in with a record of 7 wins, 5 losses. Rami Lewis and Sean Gleason in the finale Sunday at 2 o'clock. The Barnstormers off on Monday, and then the marathon begins. 34 days in a row. The Lancaster Barnstormers will take the field playing 35 games, including the big one on August the 14th to determine the first half. That'll do it for us here tonight. Now for my partner James Murray and for all the cast and crew here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, I'm Dave Collins. Have a great evening, everyone, and we'll see you at the ballpark.